Baba Shuaib, the correctional officer, born in Accra, Ghana, a Quranic researcher and a critical thinker based on religion, who does online lectures based on the guidance of the Quran on platforms such as Facebook, YouTube and TikTok since 2018. In Finland, and 13 years, QBE, in Classical Arabic and MSA in Quranic Arabic. The author of the Refer to the Quran, which helps every novice to understand the steps towards understanding the great Quran and the guidance of God in it.
Time to rise and meet the challenge. Baba Shuaib is calling you out. Meet Baba Shuaib, a correctional officer with a mission. Today he's throwing down the gauntlet to the mushriks, no more holding back. With his logo shirt and cap, Baba Shuaib sits tall and confident. He says, the time for action is now. It's time to rise, to push past limits, and to become the best versions of ourselves. Baba Shuaib believes in the power of determination and resilience. His challenge is simple. Stand up, face your fears, and conquer them. Every day is a new opportunity, he says. An opportunity to grow stronger, to be better, and to leave a mark on the world. So, are you ready to accept Baba Shuaib's challenge? Are you ready to rise above and beyond? Join Baba Shuaib and let's show the world what we're made of, because the only limit is the one you set for yourself.
When a person doesn't like you, they team up with another person that doesn't like you. And before you know it, there's a whole slew of people that hate you. But here's the thing, those people, they don't even like each other. They're only gathered because of you. See how powerful you are?
Comprehending properly and fully believing in it, if I'm being honest. And the Hadith reads, Prophet Mohammed said, the people of Yemen are the best of people. And when I read that, it was conflicting because the reason I became Muslim because it gets rid of racial supremacy. And there's a famous Hadith from the Prophet where he says that there's no race that's superior than the other. We're all created equal and we're judged based on what's in our hearts. So I ask you, Sheikh Uthman, how can there be no racial supremacy within Islam, but also the people of Yemen be the best of people?
First thing, alhamdulillah, that's a great question. And alhamdulillah, in Islam, we encourage you to ask. When you don't know, go and ask the people of knowledge. So the people of knowledge should never discourage anybody from asking questions. It's not going to kick you out of anywhere. We invite you to welcome you to come and ask questions. And, we don't want to waste time on people that don't want to know the truth. But anybody who's searching for the truth, as I see you being, we never discourage them from asking anything. And we will answer it, inshallah, by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with clear evidences. And then we accept that from us, that we are Muslim, we submit to it. But we should always ask. So the first thing is the hadith you're referencing, Khairul Rijal, Rijal al-Yemen. This is mentioned in a riwayah that is mentioned by the Imam Ahmad in his Musnad and other ulama. This riwayah, there is a problem in the chain. This is something we need. This is why everybody should understand some of the ulum of hadith. The riwayah in Sahih Muslim, it mentions al-Iman al-Yaman wal-Hikmah Yamaniya. Yani that Iman is a sifa from the people of Yemen, and wisdom is something that is from Yemen. It does not include this section that you mentioned, that the best men are the men of Yemen. Right? So, Sa'id ibn Musayyib is a tabi'i. He's the one that reports this from Abu Huraira. Al-Haythami, one of the early scholars who recorded the hadith, said that the Rijal are all good except the fact that Sa'id ibn Musayyib never met Abu Huraira. So there's a break in between those two. Right? And because the stronger narration, which is in Sahih Bukhari and Muslim, doesn't have that wording, so what is correct is that no doubt the hadith in Sahih Muslim, this is mahfood. This is what is the correct wording. So what does that mean? That no, we don't say that the best of men are any particular nationality, because what we know is the most authentic and clear hadith on the subject tells us La fadl al-Arab ala al-Ajam. There is no virtue of the Arab on the non-Arab or the Ajam or the Arab on black or white, except in taqwa. Whoever is more pious is closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, there are ahadith that mention the virtue of the people of Yemen, as there are ahadith that mention the virtue of the people of Sham, of the people that are in current day Levant, which is Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, and Palestine, may Allah free it. So this area, there is about how in the end of time, this is where Iman will be preserved and so on. That means that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam praised different people about different virtues that they had, not showing that one is superior by DNA over another.
The Romans too.
The Roman, of course. And even, like, for example, I mean, let's be real about this, right? If I was to say, you know, the Egyptians could build pyramids. Like, if you want to talk about building great structures at that time, that's Egyptian, right? That doesn't mean that every Egyptian knows how to build a pyramid. It doesn't mean that they're better than anybody else. It's praising a particular skill set that they had. If I said, man, the people of India, the mathematics, they came up with the concept of zero, math is from India, or logic and philosophy is from the Greek, right? Yes, but that doesn't mean that they're superior by any DNA, right? We don't believe in a chosen people of God.
Guys, I know you are confused. You are confused listening to these heebie-jeebies. You can see Sneako. I just wanted you to observe Sneako and what he's listening to. He has no idea what they are speaking of. Like Ali Dawah doesn't even know much about this, because Ali Dawah, I think he became a Muslim convert about 10 years ago, right? So he listening to what even Uthman was saying is just heebie-jeebies. But Sneako is lost. You know the feeling when excuse me to say, for married people, like couples, like married couples, man and a woman, it gets to a point that the man gets lost when a woman is telling the story. He gets lost and he's just concentrating on his next day work, and then the woman will be telling him about the story, what transpired, you know, maybe between her and a friend or something, and then the man is lost. Thinking about maybe what he's going to do tomorrow. And then the wife will be like, did you hear what I'm saying? And he's like, yeah. And she'll be like, what did I say? It's like, sorry, you said what? That is exactly what Sneako is doing. You understand? Sneako has no idea. He has no idea what Uthman is saying. I'm serious. No idea. So he just focused straight. No, for people who are married, you know what I'm saying. You know, I'm not joking. I'm seriously stating this. You know, men sometimes, usually, not all men, men get lost when sometimes women are telling stories. You know, because women like to deal with details. They give you every minute detail of a story. They don't want to go straight to the point. So when you are listening to a woman, there is a way to pick up what a woman is saying. You don't just listen to everything. You'll get lost. So you have to pick up details of what she is speaking about, pay attention, and she might be mentioning names of people you don't know. You understand? So beware. She can just be telling you, I met Cecilia. So in your head, you're like, who the hell is Cecilia? You understand? If you pay attention to Cecilia, you are lost. So when she says Cecilia, just ignore Cecilia. Just keep listening to the story. Remain on the focus, because that's where she's going to ask you the question. If you got it or not. That's exactly what Sneako was facing at that moment. So I'm just playing the video to show you what Sneako is going through. The heebie-jeebies he is listening to, what they are saying is nonsensical. Seriously. Carries no value. You understand? So pay attention.
We believe that everybody is equal in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah chooses who He wishes. That's why a prophet was sent to every nation. So there were prophets that were Arab, there were prophets that were not Arabs, there were prophets who were black, there were prophets who were white, prophets of every nationality, and they're the best of mankind, is the prophets, right? Even amongst the Sahaba, the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, we had people like Bilal al-Habashi, and he was from the best of Sahaba. And you had like Suhaib al-Rumi, and you had Salman al-Farisi. Even when the Arab would talk about their lineage, the Prophet ﷺ would say that Salman al-Farisi was a Persian man. It's from my household. You know, Ahlul Bayt, from the people, his household. Why? To show that we are not tied through nationalism, rather through Iman. When the Prophet ﷺ mentions Ali Muhammad, the family of Muhammad, many of the ulama, when they explained this, they said this includes all of the believers. Why? Because we are like the children of the Prophet in that spiritual sense, right? So this is to be clear that in Islam, we do not believe that any particular race is superior to the other by DNA. Having said that, no doubt the people of Yemen were very wise people, and at that time they were people of faith. When they entered Islam, they were strong in their Islam, and that virtue was there, no doubt. And just to be real, like I don't believe in being fake. I don't do political correctness. I'm straight about this, right? No doubt, certain races do have certain skill sets either, right? Look, I know it's not going to be a politically correct answer, but I don't care, right? Like if I was to say that African Americans in America are good at basketball, I'm not being racist, right? Look at the percentage of African Americans in the U.S. Look at the percentage of black in the NBA, right? Or NFL and so on. If I was to say that people of China are excellent at table tennis.
No, seriously, what does all this story, what does it got to do with table tennis, basketball, professional football play? What is this about? What? Uthman, they lost Sneako in this conversation. I'm serious. Like, what is this too much yapping about? What does a basketball and hey, my God. Oh my God. Sneako is just scared to tell them, can you just go straight to the point? You understand? Like, can you go straight to the point? And by the way, if you are a man and you are married and your wife is telling you a story, don't tell her to go fast to the end. Please, just listen. You have to listen through the torture of listening to some details that you don't want till the end. Don't tell her, hurry up. Don't. If you want to save your marriage, please avoid saying hurry up and tell me what happened at the end. So Sneako is just tired. He wants to get to the end of the story. And then they keep yapping about basketball players. And then, oh my God. Look at the face he made.
It doesn't mean that they're not. It's that they have a skill set. I know this wokeism thinks that we cannot mention things like this, but it's true, right? Certain people have certain characteristics. That doesn't mean every Chinese good at table tennis, right?
But seriously, what does Chinese table tennis and this got to do with the story you are telling Sneako? Sneako had a conversation with ASSIM Bozo. That's all he did. The conversation is about telling him you don't have to question anything when you are told. You understand? Sister Jia says, she said, Baba be nice, lol. As hands like to squawk. We know. So the point is we have to be patient to listen to the quack till the end. That's the point. So I'm just advising maybe the up and coming guys who don't know about this, they have to learn how to understand the quacking before the story ends. They shouldn't be in a hurry to skip up the story. So Sneako, they lost him, to be honest. If you ask Sneako right now, what the hell was Uthman saying? He'll be like, I only had Chinese table tennis. Seriously. He will say, so let's go to what they are trying to do. They are trying to, I call it heebie-jeebies. When people like try to hammer your brain with something which is irrelevant to the main topic, we call it heebie-jeebies. It knocks your brain off. You understand? So you lose track of what is being spoken about. Yes, you lose track. So you have to be able, and this is why these scholars confuse a lot of people, to be honest. They confuse a lot of people because they know how to, like it's like thread. It's like, when you have the needle and you're threading, you go here, you pass here, you go like this, then you get confused where you just put the needle. That's exactly what the scholars do to people. So people get lost in between. They get confused what is being spoken about, right? Yes, Salam, 2Gs. So let's go.
It doesn't mean every black man can ball. Like when I was in high school, I had a lot of friends that were tall African American brothers, and everybody expected them to be good basketball, but then they weren't. That doesn't mean everyone, right? But these certain characteristics are there, and the Prophet ﷺ praised different people for different characteristics, including the Persians. You know, he praised. He said, if knowledge was in the stars, there would be a Persian that would go to grab it.
Wow.
You know, that doesn't mean that they're better than anybody else,
Exactly.
right? But as we see in the next generation, some of the greatest scholars of Islam, including in Arabic grammar, Sebawayh.
Is that the discussion Sneako had with ASSIM al-Hakim? Was that a discussion? Whatever Uthman was saying has nothing whatsoever to do with the discussion. I played the discussion last week here for you guys to listen. Whatever Uthman was saying has nothing whatsoever to do with the discussion. I'm serious. Now wait till when Ali Dawah came in. Ali Dawah was trying to shorten the conversation. Ali Dawah did well. He brought the conversation back to where it belongs. So he pinpointed the focus on ASSIM al-Hakim and brought the discussion. So you wait till you hear Ali Dawah's part.
Including in Hadith, the likes of Al-Bukhari, including in fiqh, like the likes of Abu Hanifa and so on, they were Persian. Right? So in Islam, in closing, first thing, always ask any question you have. Never feel shy. And inshallah, by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with evidences, like I did right now, we will give you the answer.
Guys, do you hear? Never feel shy. In Islam, these same people are contradicting what ASSIM al-Hakim said earlier on to this same Sneako last week. This same Sneako, what ASSIM al-Hakim told him last week, no questions asked. Here, Uthman is telling him, in Islam, you can ask any question, no shyness. These same people, when you get up to ask the most controversial question, I'm serious, you are screwed. Especially if you are in the minority alone and you go and ask them the most controversial question and publicly. That day you have to go home alone. Nobody is going to. Even if a friend came with you with a car, he will not give you a ride. These same people. You understand? So here they are just trying to polish some mistakes ASSIM al-Hakim did publicly. They want to rectify it because that, look, ASSIM al-Hakim is like the Donald Trump version of the fake Islam. Yes, ASSIM al-Hakim, he is the Donald Trump version of the fake Islam. He goes blatantly straight. He goes straight forward and tell you the agenda they have. Which of you watched the video I did concerning chapter 9 verse 29, concerning saying that you should fight the disbelievers and let them pay the tax or whatever? I did a video as a counter argument on that, right? If you watch that video, you get to understand the agenda. This fake Islamists, there's mushriks, what they try to propagate. ASSIM al-Hakim is not hiding anything from it. He's bringing every agenda to the table for you to know. It's not a mistake. When he came out to say, I drink beer and I'm proud of it, it's not a joke. The scholars, they do drink beer. It's not a joke. Because look, let me tell you the hypocrisy. When Numan Ali Khan made a video and says, no, there is no hadith book which explicitly says music is haram, this same hypocrite, Uthman Farooq, came out to attack Numan Ali Khan. Why? Because Numan Ali Khan was being honest. That is it. There is no evidence which says music is haram. But you have the scholars putting on a narrative out there just to enslave the people. So then they'll tell you music is haram, even though Quran doesn't say music is haram. Do you get the point? So these people have an agenda, is to enslave the masses. Yeah, you're welcome. Is it Zilix? Zilix. Huh? Thank you. I appreciate the support. So they have an agenda. So ASSIM al-Hakim is pouring out all the agenda they have physically, openly. These mushriks don't like it. So they have to polish it. Remember when this guy, Yasir Qadi, when he brought one of their secrets out, And he said there are holes in the narrative concerning the chains of narration of the Hadith, the preservation of the Hadith, the chain of the narration trying to lie about the Quran. When Yasir Qadi made a mistake and voiced that out, what did the scholars do? They came at his neck. All of them were attacking him publicly because the idea is, shh, let's lie to the people. Shh, let's lie to the people. Look, this was one of the videos that got Yasir Qadi to be hated. Where's the video?
So the Caliph Uthman standardized the copies of the Quran, and therefore from his time up until our time there has never been two copies of the Quran that are different even in one letter or one word. The Quran is the most protected of all scriptures, and in fact we as Muslims believe that God in his divine wisdom and plan has protected the Quran from any type of alteration.
A few moments later.
And when we say the various different ways to recite the Quran, we are not talking about different voices or different styles. In other words, if you were to compare two printed Qurans, you're going to see differences between them. Not just a voice or not just a speaking style, but also changes in letters and words and harakat.
Brother,
And it's very clear to you and to every single very advanced student and specialist that the standard narrative has holes in it. And I don't think it is wise to bring it up in public, because it should not be said in public. I don't even want to be explicit. It should never be brought up in public. This is not something you discuss amongst the masses, ya akhi. It's not wise. Leave it at that.
So you heard what he said. So it is not wise to discuss these holes in the public. That's what Yasir Qadi said. It's not wise to discuss that, because then the masses will start questioning the narrative. The masses will be awake. They will be like, hey, scholars, then what else are you hiding from us apart from this? You have a lot in the closet. Do you get the point? So this is why such people will avoid Baba Shuaib, because when they interact with me, I get to let the other people get to know what these people are hiding. So they will tell their sheeple, avoid that guy. Don't listen to that guy. He's crazy. He's a madman. Don't listen to him. Remember, they did the same to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. What did they do? When he brought the truth, they started telling their people, he's a madman. He's crazy. Don't listen to him. Stop interacting with him. Because the idea is the more you interact with him, the more you have a discussion, the more he opens up the chest. Are you getting the point? So these mushriks will avoid people like us in a dialogue, confrontation in the public. The reason is because when their sheeple fans get to hear the other side of the story, it's game over. So you saw Yasir Qadi saying, you don't need to bring that issue in the public. Because where are they going to get the answers to answer people? Where? You tell me. Where are they going to get the answers from? They can't answer the questions which are on the way coming. So the idea is avoid people like Baba Shuaib, avoid people like MFG, avoid people and like the rest, so that your sheeple fans will not get to hear that part which is being hidden. Because we are knocking the doors to open up that side they are hiding. You understand? The scholars know a lot to mislead people. So God says in Quran chapter 2 verse 159, then he says, Inna allazina yaqtumuna ma anzalna min al-bayyinati wal-huda min ba'di ma bayyanahu lin-nas fil kitab ulaika yal'anuhumullah wa yal'anuhumul la'inun. Indeed, those who conceal what God has revealed of the guidance and the proofs after that which God has made it clear in the book for the people, they are the ones whom God has cursed, and they are cursed by the curses. You get the point? Now, it takes a person who is knowledgeable to hide the truth, because if somebody doesn't know, how can he hide something? If somebody doesn't know what gold is, why will he hide it? It takes somebody who knows gold to hide it. It takes somebody who knows diamond to hide it. So when scholars are hiding the truth away from you, is because they don't have to give you the keys on how to examine the truth. So they have to lie to you and say, my brother, you cannot understand the Quran if you don't go to the scholars. Come to the Hadith scholars. Don't read the Hadith by yourself. They tell you, come to us, so that they have the keys to it, so then they can lie to you. Are you getting my point? They lie to you So they control the narrative. So they will tell you, if this guy never studied under any scholar from Azhar or Medina or Egypt, don't go and listen to him. He will lie to you. Oh, really? Because Islam belongs to only Arabs, right? Islam belongs to only Egypt and Saudi Arabia, right? The Quran, it belongs to Saudi Arabia and Egypt, right? Is that what you're telling us? Okay. Let's go.
Yeah. And secondly, we do not believe in the superiority of any race per DNA.
Yes.
It's a lie, oh, it's a lie. They believe in that. They believe. These same mushriks will tell you from the Hadith books, Arabs are superior than anybody. I'm serious. Look, these same imposters will write narratives. That is why they will tell you the prophet is the best of creation. Is the prophet not an Arab? Then why are you tagging him the best of creation? Is that not superiority? No, seriously. Hello. These same people say Prophet Muhammad is the best of creation. Hello. And you are contradicting yourself by saying you don't believe in the superiority by DNA. And here, hey, these guys. Hey, discrepancies and contradictions, these people. God in the Quran doesn't deal with a race. He deals with those who are what? Pious. Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. That is what God says. Yes, God deals with your works of righteousness. That is what makes you superior. But this hadith mongers, in their hadith books, they say Prophet Muhammad is the best of creation. They say he is the best human being to ever walk on earth. So you ask them, the prophet, was he an Arab? They say yes. So what are you telling me now? Oh, yeah. Look, go to countries like Egypt and so on. Egypt, Algeria, Tunisia, Morocco. When they are enslaving black people, I'm not talking against all the countries. I'm talking about those people who have that agenda coming from the hadith books. When they are enslaving black people, they are telling the black people because they are the chosen ones of God. Just like the Jews used to do. The Jews are saying we are the chosen ones of God. So they are claiming superiority. Jews who claim that superiority, that they are the best. According to Quran chapter 2 verse, let me give you this verse. Quran chapter 2 verse 47, God actually favored the children of Israel. He didn't say in the verse they are the best. Listen carefully. I'm just going to explain to you something so that you understand this aspect, right? People are twisting this part. So let me put it right so that you understand what is being said. Salam to you, Umar Zaid. Peace to you, my elder. Yes, how do you call it? Look at the verse on the screen. Quran chapter 2, verse 47. God says, O children of Israel, remember my blessing which I have bestowed upon you, and that I favored you. It was a favor. He didn't say the children of the Israel are the best. Listen carefully. Choice of words. God is the omniscient and what? All-knowing, all-wise. So God chooses his words carefully because God is not to cause division, right? God wants to bring unity, but people hate the truth. That's why there's division. It is not God who is causing division. When people hate the truth, the division happens, right? So Quran chapter 2 verse 47. The choice of words God used was, O children of Israel, remember my blessing upon you, which I have bestowed upon you. It is a favor. And that I favored you over all people. Now, this is how it works. You know, sometimes you have 2 kids or 3 kids. I'm going to show you an example. You have 2 or 3 kids. Then you decided to favor the last born. Let's say you have 3 kids. So the last born is weak. You know, it's small, right? So you decided to favor the last born with a big surprise or big birthday cake. But the firstborn and the secondborn, you give them a normal cake, right? Normal size. But the last born, because he's last, you favored him with a big kick. It doesn't mean he's the best. Because if he's the best, best in which category? Best of what? Best in terms of knowledge? Best in terms of what? Singing, handsomeness, beauty? Best of what? So God didn't say the children of Israel are the best. He said he favored them. It's a favor. So when I do you favor doesn't mean you are the best. Get this part very, very well. When somebody does you a favor, it means you are lacking behind in something. That is why the entity has to do you a favor. Now, let's say I write exams and I pass my exams. I got all the marks, 100 over 100. Tell me, what favor do I need from the teacher or examiner again? Do I need a favor? No. I only need a favor if I'm lacking in something. That is when favors arises. So God did that favor to children of Israel, not because they were the best, it's because they were lacking something. So God has to put the favor, you understand, to bring them forward. It doesn't mean they were the best. Choice of words. Just as he did some favors to the prophets. Right? And again, choice of words. People misunderstand these words and then they go and put the wrong word somewhere by describing something by saying, oh, the prophet is the best of creation. I dare you, mushriks and hypocrites, come and prove to me where God says the prophet Muhammad is the best of creation. You'll be a fool to be attributing or to be stating that word when God never told you anywhere in the Quran. So the same hypocrites will now go on, even though they are hadith book, they are hadith books themselves. The prophet was denying that he is not the best of creation. The prophet himself was attributing it to Abraham according to their own hadith books. And this same hypocrite will keep pushing a narrative to the people. Prophet Muhammad is the best of creation. He is the best human being to ever walk on earth. Are you nuts? Are you okay? Seriously, who born you by mistake? Where does he say that in the Quran? Where? I'm not against Prophet Muhammad. Please don't take him to a level he never reached. God never put him there. What made him the best? In which way? No, you tell me. In which criteria are you assessing? Do you realize God chose Ibrahim as Imam for the mankind? God made Abraham as a leader for mankind. Nowhere in the Quran did God say Ibrahim was the best of creation. But yes, he chose him among the best with him. Quran chapter 38 verse 45. He mentioned Ibrahim in the list of the best he has chosen with him. But he never said the best of creation. Nowhere did God ever say that these are the best of creation. Where these bozos are getting this narrative from? Because people don't ask questions. So they just go with the flow of the Shipple scholars, and the Shipple audience does it. When you speak contrary to what they are saying, you become an enemy. Baba Shraib is challenging the status quo. And I want you to do the same. Let's go.
We do believe that at times certain people stand up for certain principles and they should be praised for that.
Ansar.
Like the Ansar, the people of Medina, even though the Prophet is not from Medina, but he said to love them is a part of Iman. Why? Because the service they did for Islam.
To love them is part of Iman. Really? Okay.
Right? When the Prophet praised the best army to be the one that conquered Constantinople, and we know that was in the time of the Ottoman Empire, right? When he talked about so many different virtues of different people, we appreciate people and their work, but the authentic, clear hadith tells us that there is no virtue of anybody per DNA except whoever is more close to Allah in piety will be the one that is superior.
I mean, one thing I just want to say before I give it back to Sneako is that, one thing that I would say before I get Sneako, because at the end of the day, I came to Islam 11, 12 years ago, and I know how certain things, I'll be honest with you, I can remember the first year when I came to Islam, I was walking in Stratford, and I was just on my phone, like, looked at some information, and I heard that the Sahaba fought each other. And our cameraman here, Rizwan, he had the same thing. I was shocked. I actually had to sit down. I said, what, the Sahaba fought each other? And then I heard the Prophet said, wife Aisha and Anha. And the war, I was like, it hit me like someone punched me in the face. Because in our head, we have this false reality. And we bring it, and we do this a lot of times. And I was like, how could the best, how could they fight each other? But the point is, when I went to someone to get that answered, if he was to come and say to me, like, how you've got uncertainty. Now, again, I want to give a disclaimer. Sheikh Hamza Malik, I was in double minds about doing this because the Sheikh had a fatwa against the specific show I was doing, and I respect his opinion. I've always said, you know what, and even yourself, I know you have that, and I respect that. As long as we are brothers, myself, I went to an alim who gave me the fatwa to go ahead, and I understand. But as long as we're brothers, we have a different opinion. I didn't want to do the video because I didn't want it to come across as if I'm having a go at the Sheikh. Wallahi, I'm in front of the Kaaba is there. Uqsum billah wa rabbul Kaaba. If I have anything against the Sheikh because of that, what he said, there was parts that was true, and I apologized that the Sheikh was true. And I even apologized for that and even repented for that. I didn't want to do that video because it come across like that. But when I saw the video, Sneako, as a revert, I was like, you shouldn't be made to feel that you can't ask questions. We have Christians who come to Islam and go, I went to the church and asked a question about Trinity, and they said, oh, you've got something wrong with your faith. No, you should not be made to feel. And I don't think the Sheikh did it on purpose. We just say that it was, and the enemies of Islam are trying to use this, alhamdulillah, because Islam is growing. And you can't really blame them. And they see Islam is growing. People come into Islam. We understand your pain. We hear your pain. It hurts, yeah? But Sheikh, you need to have some sympathy for them. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I don't think he even understood my question right away. I think that he heard me say the word doubt, and he probably deals with a lot of people who ask him questions, and but okay, let me put it like this here. Even if you came to me today in front of the Kaaba and said, well, I have a bit of a doubt, I'm not going to come and say to you, A'udhu billahi in front of the Kaaba, how are you having a doubt? I have to assume the best and say, hold on a second, it can be a doubt. Actually, there's nothing with doubt. There's two things you do with Shubahat. So that doesn't make you a kafir to have a doubt.
No. Uthman, if that's the case, me, I've left Islam. When I first came, there was some questions I asked. Bro, you do two things with doubts. And I'm mentioning this for those who have doubts. Number one, you have a doubt, and what you do is you let that grow. Number two, you say, I have a doubt. I want to go to a person of knowledge, and I want to ask and say, I have a genuine doubt. Let me give you an example. At the time of the Prophet ﷺ, a man came to the Prophet ﷺ and said, O Messenger of Allah, we have thoughts in our head about Allah and His Messenger that we will rather fall from the sky and be eaten up by birds. The Messenger say, oh, we have thoughts about me. And
you see, this is one thing that I get tired of mushriks about. Always they have the best of examples, always. One day the Prophet was just sitting there and a woman came to him. One day the Prophet was there, the Sahaba came to him. One day there was this one hadith, the Prophet was doing it. They love stories, for God's sake. Like story. Why? Like what is wrong with these people with their heebie-jeebies and so on? Like they are never straight to the point. Like it's just a simple issue. Sneako is tired. Sneako it's like, can you guys just let's go home? Oh my God. Oh my God. Guys, Ali Dawah, is he married? Oh my God. Yeah. Thank God there's a wife who has to tell him stories. I don't imagine Ali Dawah telling his wife story. Seriously. I cannot imagine him telling a story to the wife. She might get tired watching Netflix. Can you imagine Ali Dawah telling a story to his wife? Oh my God. Oh my God. My glasses will come, not yet. When you watch Sneako's face, that is what a tired person does. When he's listening to a story, he's tired of listening. That's the face you make. Oh my God. You really need to take you ibuprofen. They can give you a headache. Yes, you need a painkiller. Seriously. That like Ali Dawah, like, I don't know, does he play back his videos to listen to himself telling the story? Like, I saw one video when Mohammed Hijab was trying to describe Ali Dawah. I saw the video, I was laughing so hard. I'm serious. Mohammed Hijab wanted to describe Ali Dawah. He described Ali Dawah with a laugh. Guys, did you see that video? when Ali Dawah was sitting with another prominent person, I don't know, and Muhammad Hijab described the other person as academical scholar or something. Then when he shifted the camera to Ali Dawah, and he says, they started laughing. Oh my God. The laugh actually describes Ali Dawah. Guys, if you have that video, I forgot. Did I save it or something? I have the, oh my God. Where did I save the video? Let me see. Did I save it somewhere here? When I saw the video, I was laughing so hard. Seriously. Seriously, where is that video? Let me see if I can find it. Yes, I think I found the video. Wait, just a second. I'm going to share the screen. Listen to the video. This is the video. I found the video. Just a second. Yeah, this is the video. Let me play the video for you.
One known for academic prowess and intellectual debate, and the other known for for his fantastic contribution to humankind. I'm joined with two very esteemed gentlemen here to my left. One known for academic prowess and intellectual debate, and the other known for for his fantastic contribution to
God have mercy upon us. God have mercy upon us.
Guys, I don't think you got the idea of Muhammad Hijab laughing at Ali Dawah. You don't get what is going on. You saw how he described Ali Dawah. He described the other person with respect. But when it came to Ali Dawah, that laugh, there is something behind that laugh. And that laugh is not, it's not like I'm laughing to honor you. It's like a laugh that is like, I know your secret. Ha 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 ha. That's the kind of laugh. And he told him for the contribution to humankind. What? What contribution? What? No, see, what contribution does Ali Dawah make? No, tell me, what contribution is Ali Dawah doing? Huh? So let's go.
Out. Get not out. Take his if the Prophet doesn't move, the Sahaba will take him out. Yeah, straight away. Now, what about the man who came and said, "Oh, mashallah, make zina permissible for me"? To a prophet. You'll never come to the Sahaba. You're coming to a prophet to make what? Sexual intercourse permissible. He didn't say that. He said, "Look, let's understand. Would you want that for your mother? Oh, mashallah, or by Allah, I would not. Your daughter, by Allah, I won't. Your auntie, by Allah, I won't." He understood the point. He said, "Then why do you want to do it to other people?" What about?
No, what has this got to do with anything that ASSIM al-Hakeem said to Sneako? What What is this heebie-jeebies? 15 minutes heebie-jeebies. They keep talking to Sneako. Oh my God, Sneako in the head is like, I know when he went home, he was looking at the mirror, like head and putting water on his face to watch the mirror. He's like, am I going to join these bozos? Hey. What baffles me is when they think they are making sense, when they are speaking all this gibberish and nonsense. And there's so much into it, and they're telling all these stories, and they think they are making sense, to be honest.
The man who came in, he weed in the mosque. Did he come and say, stone him? He said, let him finish.
Did you say weed?
We urinated. In the UK, we say, yeah.
Speak American, bro.
We call it wee. I'm joking. Urinated. Yeah. So he urinated. So the thing is this,
guys. Seriously, what does Ali Dawah? What does it do for any Muslim community? Of course, he's a mushrik, but what is Ali Dawah's contribution? And this guy seriously has 1.3 million followers on YouTube.
Aki images.
yeah. So okay. So Aki, amen. We're filming Aki. 2 seconds, please catch him. Look at him trying to run away. Okay. So the process.
That is the British Jesus. That is the Jesus of the Sunnis. Aki Ayman. That is Aki Ayman. Somebody call him brother Aki Ayman. And then somebody was asking the question, what kind of stupid name is that? Because the word Aki means brother. So you are calling him brother Aki Ayman. What was that? Aki means brother. Hey my God.
I'm going to come and say, stop him immediately. He said, let him finish. Number one, he cared about his health. Because to stop being urinating in the middle, it can be hard.
Guys, did you see Sneako's reaction? Wallahi lazim. Sneako was not listening to anything they were saying. Look at Sneako's reaction when he stretched his hands. Please. Like Baba Shoaib, I like reading people, right? I read people a lot, from facial expression and reaction and so on. Pay attention. Look at Sneako. Look.
So he urinated. So the thing is this.
Aki images.
Yeah. So okay. So Aki, amen. We're filming Aki. 2 seconds, please catch him. Look at him trying to run away. Okay. So the Prophet didn't come and say, stop him immediately. He said, let him finish. Number one, he cared about his health, because to stop being urinating in the middle, it can be harmful. You know, if anyone's held their urination back, he didn't come and do that.
Guys, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Sneako is like, what are you guys talking about? Wallahi, they lost Sneako in the conversation. Look, he's not interested in what they are talking about. I'm serious. Do you realize he was the one who was distracting them by telling them to look at Aki Ayman? He's not interested in the gibberish they are speaking about. Like, they think this kind of conversation is going to convince a smart kid like this. Look at the expression, look at the reaction, look at how Sneako was looking at Ali Dawah. You just look at the video, just check. Look at the reaction. Look at Sneako, look at him looking at Ali Dawah.
The Prophet said, that's what Allah says in the Quran, if you was harsh with them, they would have run away from you. So my thing was this, Aki. I felt like what happened, and certain things I don't want to go into detail, but look, bro, anytime it's close to anybody who's a new Muslim or a born Muslim who has a shubahat, there is nothing wrong with coming and asking. Do not feel shy, do not feel you're going to be scolded. It should not be like that. So that's just one thing I wanted to say, inshallah. And because I've said this before to you, with the whole situation with Andrew Tate and this, that, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide. But to me, bro, I'm so sorry. Let me be honest with you. I don't praise you because I want to pocket from you. Look, let me be honest with you. You're my brother in Islam. We judge, like Umar ibn Khattab said, we used to judge from what?
Sneako, get out. Sneako, get out. When they start tagging you brother in Islam, they are making you an official mushrik. Get out. To be honest, Sneako, get out.
Wahi, if stop, we judge from what's apparent now. I see that in you. So when I see that in you, bro, I only praise you because I see your dedication into it, subhanAllah. Like the Japanese sister who came from a specific, wherever, yeah, subhanAllah. I saw the sincerity of her repentance, crying in jilbab, praying fajr. She's been a Muslim for 6 months, yeah? And subhanAllah, anyways, I don't get to this. Andrew Tate, 2.5 years. Anyways, yeah? So, yeah.
Guys, what this guy, is it AI typing something for him to speak, or what? What is Ali Dawah saying? Like, I don't know how he talks. I'm sorry to say, for those based in the UK, do you ever understand what Ali Dawah speaks about or talks about? Like, when he's talking, does it make sense? You are talking to Sneako. You moved from Sneako, you went to the Japanese woman 6 months. Then subhanallah, then you mentioned Andrew Tate, then you said 2 years, and then guys, look, listen to that part. It's just waste of our brain. But listen, I know.
And because I've said this before to you, with the whole situation with Andrew Tate and this, that, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide. But to me, bro, I'm so sorry. Bro, let me be honest with you. I don't praise you because I want to pocket from you. I don't, look, let me be honest with you. You're my brother in Islam. We judge, like Umar ibn Khattab said, we used to judge from Wahi. Wahi, for stop, we judge from what's apparent now. I see that in you. So when I see that in you, bro, I only praise you because I see your dedication into it, subhanAllah. Like the Japanese sister who came from a specific, wherever, yeah, subhanAllah. I saw the sincerity of her repentance, crying in jilbab, praying fajr. She's been a Muslim for 6 months, yeah? And subhanAllah, anyways, I don't get to this. Andrew Tate, 2.5 years. Anyways, yeah? So, yeah, no, I'm very angry because you know why? And you come in attacking Muslims and blaming us for attacks that we didn't do, yeah? But anyways, because our sisters who are walking on the streets get attacked because of your kalam. Anyways,
guys, if oh my God, he was speaking for the past 5-6 minutes. There's no sense in the statements. So if the AI has to pick it up and type it down, it's just nonsensical. No sense. Look, they lost Sneako in the conversation. Uthman Farooq took the conversation. He started talking about basketball. He started talking about ping pong. He started talking about Chinese, Persians. Oh, yeah, Mushriks. Oh, my God. They need a new hard drive. Hey!
So the point is that even that sister Sarah, she got in contact with our Salah team. We're sending her a guided prayer mat, yeah, and our sister Farooq is going to teach her how to praise Allah step by step.
What does this conversation got to do with prayer mat? You are using an example to tell Sneako. Sneako is the subject here. He is the point of concentration. He is the center of attention. You are talking to Sneako. You just left Sneako out of nowhere, and then you are talking about prayer mat, about the sister Japanese, and then we are going to send her prayer. Oh my God, this guy has 1.3 billion followers on YouTube. Hey.
Step, and by the way, those who are watching, she's going to join our stream on the 27th night, inshallah, yeah?
Wallahi, Sneako is tired. Hey, look, guys, Quran, those who follow the Quran alone as Muslims, don't waste your time. Sneako is going to leave these guys. This job is not hard. To be honest, I'm telling you. Sneako is going to abandon these bozos. This is very easy. Hey! No, what? To be honest, I'm telling you, mark it on the wall. Sneako will abandon these bozos. The guy, they lost him. Look, ever since he did the video with ASSIM and HAKEEM, they lost him. It's time out. If you watch this video, him sitting there for 15 minutes with them, time out. They lost him. The guy zoomed out. I'm serious. Yeah, Sneako zoomed out. Look, Sneako, we are going to find you. Inshallah, we will find you. Seriously, we will find you. Inshallah. And God willing, we are going to do a tag team with Grayson Brook, Dravon, brother Dravon, Sneako. Yes, we will find you, inshallah. Yes, we will find you. Don't worry, we will find you, inshallah. Sneako, hey, my God. Yes, I got a feedback that he has been banned on YouTube or something. I don't know what happened, but I'll look into it. We need to find this guy. Please. We will find Sneako, inshallah. If you know, or I was told he's usually on Twitch, right? Twitch. Please, anybody has a contacts to him, try to reach him. Tell him he has to connect with Baba Shripe. Let's have a discussion. I need to expose these bozos for him to see. Like, I'll play these same videos back to him to observe the heebie-jeebies, the confusion. Oh my God.
And we're going to hear a story. But Sneako, if you have any other questions, bro, here's the chance. If you want to, any other doubts or things you have.
No, that was a major one. And
anything
I
else
think it's important to talk about these things. That's why I felt comfortable asking that question, because the reason I became Muslim is because it's a logical religion.
Yes.
It's the people saying that it's a cult or that it's blind faith. And the reason that I left is because blind faith, things like the Trinity, never made sense.
Thank you.
Just believe, don't ask questions.
This guy is going to leave the mushriks. I'm telling you. Just examine the statement he just said. Just examine the statement he just said. Look.
Inshallah, yeah? And we're going to hear a story. But Sneako, if you have any other questions, bro, here's the chance. If you want to, any other doubts or things you have.
No, that was a major one. And
anything
I
else
think it's important to talk about these things. That's why I felt comfortable asking that question, because the reason I became Muslim is because it's a logical religion.
Yes.
It's the people saying that it's a cult or that it's blind faith. And the reason that I left is because blind faith, things like the Trinity, never made sense.
Thank you.
Just believe, don't ask questions. I've been told that by priests before. Just believe it. Because it never made sense. And I came to realize that I always was Muslim, because when I grew up, I wasn't praying to Holy Spirit. I wasn't praying to Mary or St. Anthony. I was praying to God.
Exactly.
They feel threatened by his last statement. I swear to God. Did you see the last statement Sneako said? It's a threat to mushriks. That last statement he said, that is the biggest threat to Sunnis and to mushriks. They hate it the moment you start saying something doesn't make sense. It's not, look, they hate that part. And that was why ASSIM al-Hakim was trying to silence him, that no questions asked. Because he's a smart kid. He is going to ask the most controversial questions. Those scholars don't have the answers for it. And that guy, he's still intact in the head. I'm serious. I'm not joking with you. This guy still has confusion. They cannot answer that. And God willing, we are going to meet him up. We are going to find him. Because these guys cannot convince him. The guy still has doubts on what they are saying. He zoomed out when they were talking for the past 15 minutes. You saw how he summarized his statement at the end? He made it very quick and simple. Because he's not interested in the gibberish they keep talking about. Nonsensical. Look, you watch my program with Grayson Brook, right? My first ever program I did with Grayson Brook. Did you watch the discussion? And did you watch how presentable the argument was from the Quran? That is the guidance of God. You don't waste time telling stories, and then the Prophet was there sitting with his wife, and then one Sahaba came, and then he said, Prophet, can I be guided? And then the Prophet told him, no, you did Zena, so go away. God is not going to guide you. That's the kind of stories they want to guide you. This kind of stories? No. No. Akhi. No. Don't fall for that trap. Yes, I know, Sneako, these people will be promising you all the money in the world. Please, don't fall for that trap. Right? They'll push you to the corner where you'll be seeking help from them. And that is where they will entrap you, Sneako. So please, stay away. My last program that I did on Dravon, Brother Dravon got to watch that video, right? And he gave me thumbs up for that. He appreciated my work on that. And inshallah, the same way I did a video on Grayson Brook, and he got to watch it, And then thanks to also the brother MFG for doing his part. And he gave me thumbs up of that. Inshallah, we are coming for you, Sneako. And yes, because this mushrik don't deserve you. I'm serious. To be honest, they don't deserve you. To be honest. Guys, so we've seen the end of Ramadan. The Ramadan came to us. We saw the end of Ramadan. Now, according to the mushriks, the devil has been released, right? So according to the mushriks, the devil was chained for 1 month. So officially, the devil has been released back in the world. So the devil was chained for 1 month during Ramadan. So now it is 3 days or 4 days over Ramadan now. So officially the devil is now free. Is out of is into the city. So beware, the devil is back to duty. I'm not saying it. I'm serious. They said the devil is chained. Is chained during Ramadan, right? I didn't say that. They said it. Wallahi. So the devil was chained for 1 month. So thanks to God, officially he has been released. So the devil is back to office. He has to catch up on where he left. Hey. So that is why ASSIM and HAKEEM was trying to convince Sneako, right? That was when the devil was chained. ASSIM was being honest. You see, when the devil was chained, ASSIM was honest. He told Sneako every truth they have in their mushrik religion. You understand? But as soon as, you know, the devil is back to office, they will start lying to him. They will say, Sneako, you know, what ASSIM told you, I don't agree with him, no? You know, wallahi, you see, the sister from Japan, you see, Andrew Tate, 2 years, wallahi. Like, what are these mushriks talking about? What is this waffling and blah, 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 what is it about? Seriously. Okay, guys, I know that some of the mushriks, they watch me when I mention mushriks on my page, usually. I'm going to put in the phone lines, right? That's my phone number on the screen. I'm going to give this chance for question and answer session for the mushriks to call in. So the mushriks, if you are here, you can call. But anyways, even if you are not a mushrik and you have anything to ask or talk about, please call in and you can ask your question. Call in and ask your question. I'm going to use the last part, maybe 1 hour for question and answer session. You are free to call. That's the number, +358 466 803144. The last week portion, the one I cut, the video was long. It was up to 4 hours, so I cut it down. But the full version is found on Facebook. It's on my Facebook page, right? I usually have a lot of pages, right? So sometimes if you don't find a particular video on this page, you find it on that page. That's how I do it. I made a promise to myself not to let my YouTube videos reach 4 hours. 4 hours is kind of stressful for people to watch. So I prefer having it in between. The maximum should be 3 hours. I don't want it longer. That's why I trimmed it down, right? That's the reason. Yusuf Jami, I'll call you back. Just a second. So that was the reason why I trimmed the last video. So if you want the full version, it's on my YouTube, Facebook page, right? You can get it there.
Hello?
Yes, salam.
Good evening.
Salam alaikum.
My name is Yusuf.
Yeah, Yusuf. How may I help you?
Happy Eid al-Fitr. How's everything?
You said happy what?
I said happy Eid al-Fitr. Eid al-Fitr.
I don't celebrate Eid al-Fitr.
Okay.
Yes. I can celebrate Eid, but I don't know about Eid al-Fitr. Which Eid is that?
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. No, I just want to ask you a question about the Eid.
Okay, sure. You can ask me.
So, in Nigeria, here, there was a controversial on Saturday and Sunday that the moon was sighted in Saudi. So, I just want to ask a question. Can we use Saudi moon to judge our own moon here?
Can you use what?
If Saudi sighted moon here and if moon was sighted at Saudi, can we use it as evidence in Nigeria?
Quran chapter 49 verse 6, it says, when an immoral person brings you news, what do you have to do? Fatabayyanu, you have to investigate. You have to ascertain.
Yes, I know.
Okay. So did you investigate?
Actually, I didn't investigate because there was some people that know about the astrology in India that they say that the moon on Saturday, the moon cannot be spotted. Sorry, Christians cannot be sighted on Saturday. So it caused a controversial. It's a controversial issue in Nigeria.
But there was an eclipse of the sun on that Saturday. So Saudi Arabia, there was no possibility for Saudi Arabia to see it on that Saturday. But then they went ahead and declared to the people that the Eid is on Sunday.
Yes.
But this is the confusion. Let me tell you, there is what we call the waxing crescent and the waning crescent. And the waxing and waning crescent happen within a month. It doesn't have to happen after a month. It is within a month. So when we say waxing crescent, it is a new crescent, which is the new moon. Waning crescent is the last crescent you see when the month is ending. It is the waning crescent we have to use to determine the end of Ramadan. It is not the waxing crescent you have to use to determine the end of Ramadan. So the waxing crescent, the waning crescent was supposed to be detected between Thursday and Friday.
Okay.
Are you with me? It was supposed to be detected between Thursday and Friday. But anybody who has a moon tracker could track it and find and know the location and know that it is there. So on Saturday, it gets to 0. So when it's 0, it is now loading for Shawwal. That is the next month.
Okay.
So when God says in Quran chapter 2 verse 189, let me put the verse on the screen. Let me put the verse. Are you there? Yusuf, are you there? Yusuf, are you online?
Hello, okay.
Are you here?
Okay. I lost your connection. I lost the connection.
Okay, I'm putting a verse on the screen. Let me put a verse here. You see this verse on the screen? You see the verse? Are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
It says they ask you about the crescents. That is Ahillah. Say they are timings for the people and the what? And the pilgrimage. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
Okay. So there are timings for the people and the pilgrimage. So when you take the Ahillah, so let me see if I can show you the phases of the moon. I'm going to show you a picture of the phases of the moon. But can you see my screen? When I shared my screen, can you see it?
Actually, I can't see it.
You cannot see it. Okay, let me do this. Just a second. Just a second. I want to show you something here.
No, Mashwal.
Yes. What? Look, Yusuf, let me drop you. Just keep watching. I'm going to answer your question, right?
Okay.
Your network is interrupting, so let me drop you. Keep watching. Keep on watching. So when you see it from the screen, I don't know if I can maximize it here. Okay. Guys, can you see the faces of the moon? Now, this is the faces of the moon. We have something we call waxing crescent. You see, the waxing crescent is the beginning. You have the new moon when it's 0. That is the one on the left. When it's 0. So then when it starts like a new birth, when it starts growing, that is the waxing crescent. That is the one normally has to be seen to mark the beginning of the month. So this is the waxing crescent, and then it goes to the first quarter, and then it moves to the waxing gibbous. Then it goes to the full moon. That is the middle of the month. Then it goes, again, it goes waning gibbous. Then it goes third quarter. Then now it goes to the waning crescent. The waning crescent is to mark the ending of the month. The waning crescent. So the waxing crescent and the waning crescent is what we call the ahilla. This ahilla is what you use to mark the beginning and the end. We call it timing. When something has a timing, it means it has the start and finish line. It's just like you know, race, car race, running, athletics, sports. When you have the starting time, you have the finishing time. So it is a timing device when you can know the start and finishing of something. Are you getting the point? So when you take the waxing crescent, it's to mark the beginning of a month, and then the waning crescent is to mark the end of the month. So I don't know the idea of when people say they find the waxing crescent for the beginning of the month, but then they want to go to another month and wait for the moon in another month to get the new to get the moon for the other month before they know that Ramadan has ended. Where is the logic there? Now, where is that logic coming from? You want to actually enter into another month before you know that the month has ended. Seriously. Somebody look at this. Look what another bozo wrote here. Light on Light Publishing official YouTube channel. Oh, so now Hamza Malik's people, they have official YouTube. I thought they are not YouTubers. They have YouTube channel. Look what he said. He said, Shoaib Abdullah, you didn't respond to Brother Hamza Malik's challenge. I already have responded. The 10 points, I have videos on it. Unless if you are a fool, you don't want to watch my videos to get the answers. It's there. I have 4 videos I did. All the answers are there. Go and watch it. He says, you didn't respond to Hamza Malik's challenge. Did you throw in the towel? I said he should come for a dialogue. He's not coming. He's scared. Tell your Hamza Malik to give me a call and come for a dialogue. That's all I said. Now look at what Hamza Malik himself said about Baba Shaib here. I just want to show you how hypocritical the man can be. Where did I save this? I want to show you something. Where is the image? Is it? Now, ladies and gentlemen, when you check on the screen, you see the picture you are looking at. The picture, Samuel, I'll call you back. Just a second. I'll call you back. The picture you are looking at. Do you see the picture? Okay. Now, this is Hamza Malik a couple of years ago. This is what he wrote about Baba Shaib. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to read in between the lines to see the hypocrisy of these old people attacking Baba Shaib. Just read in between the lines. He said what? He says, observation. Brother Babs, to my knowledge, as also a few others, has never posted a discourse. Listen carefully. Has never posted a discourse not supported by the ayats, messages of Allah, as he understands them, by standing behind the book, the Quran alone. Quote unquote. I'm not quoting Hamza. This is what he wrote a couple of years ago. He can boldly challenge any would-be scholar to come on his live stream and prove him wrong. I'm not the one who said it. Hamza is speaking on my behalf. Again, he says, Allah and his ayat are indeed the conclusive arguments. Then he quoted the verses to support that. This was Hamza Malik speaking on my behalf. The same man who said I'm misleading people. The same man who says I don't have any truth in what I say. The same man who said I'm full of trash. This same man, this is what he said a couple of years ago. So now, if Hamza Malik knows that Baba can boldly challenge any would-be scholar to come on his live stream, I expect the same from Hamza Malik. He should boldly step forward and come for a live dialogue so my audience can know that, oh, Baba Shoaib, you have been lying to us for so many years. So now Hamza Malik is proving you wrong. So tell the old paps to do that. If he doesn't do that, then he doesn't have balls. I don't play by his rules. He has to play by my rules. That's the difference there. You get the point? I don't play by Hamza Malik's rules. He has to play by my rules. So tell him, if he wants to disprove Baba Shoaib and prove to all the people that I'm lying, all he has to do is be a man, have the balls, and come to my platform so that he can prove me wrong in front of everybody, because this is where I sit and speak all the gibberish he said I'm saying, right? So let him have some balls and come over. Other than that, then he's a hypocrite, because this is what he said himself. This is his comment I put on the page. And likewise goes to that other bozo, Ayub Karim. Yes. Old people with no brains, if they are not willing to stand up for the truth and be hypocritical, then they don't have my respect. If they want to earn my respect, please tell them to be men with balls and come forward and come. We are going to do it respectfully. I'll bring them respectfully. Unless if they are scared of the dialogue, because I want to probe into their claims. I want to scrutinize and examine them like a correctional officer. Correctional officer doesn't need a mediator. I keep seeing the foolish comments of people saying, yeah, we need to do it on a neutral ground. No, correctional officer doesn't need a neutral ground. We are adults. We are matured. If your old pap has some wisdom in the head, please let him contact Baba Shoaib and let him come. You watch my debates. I'm always respectful to everybody. Whether a mushrik, I know how to conduct myself, to comport myself. I just don't understand why you people are scared of my platform. Wallahi. All the hypocrites, the mega hypocrites, all of you. All the hypocrites. I don't know why you are scared of my platform. Why? You said Baba Shoaib is misleading people. The best thing is, have you ever seen a correctional officer or a police officer scared to go to a criminal's house? If you said I'm a criminal, you being the right one, come to the criminal's house, come and arrest me. So I said, come to my platform. Give me a call and come. Let's have a dialogue in front of my audience. They said, no. You control the platform, so we are not coming. Oh my God. What a waste of time. This no ritual group are no brainers. Wallahi. Anybody who tells you there's no ritual in the Quran is a fool. I'm not joking with you. Wallahi, I repeat. Anybody who tell you there's no ritual in the Quran is a fool. It means they don't practice Islam. Because a lot of the things you find in the Quran is repetitive. You have to do it. You have to keep doing it every day. If it's a salat, you do it every day. The foolish hypocrites you are seeing among us, they don't observe salats. You saw Ayub Karim, communion, sunnatullah, following closely, whatever. He said he does it with his family morning and evening and in the night time. Is that not a ritual? Because they academically, I don't know what school they even went. So let's not waste our time with hypocrites. Let's go on to a bigger agenda. We have a big fish to deal with. Let me call this guy back. Somebody called me. This number, I'll call you back. Let me deal with the person who just called right now. There's a number who called me. Is it a number from Ghana, right? Somebody calling with the number +31. Can you call on WhatsApp? Whoever was calling with the number +31, can you call on WhatsApp? The person calling from Netherlands, +31, can you call on WhatsApp? It's just simple as it is. If you claim Baba Shuaib is misleading people, Baba Shuaib is this, please. My platform is there. My phone number is. What are they scared of? Do I look like a lion? All you need to do is come to my platform. If I'm misleading people, that means I'm misleading my audience, right? So the best thing you have to do is you come on my platform. Let's have a dialogue so that you prove to my audience where I'm misleading them. Then I can set your ass on fire and show the world how foolish you are. Yes, I forgot to put the link. Yes, Shurulini, yes, thank you. I forgot to put the link also. Alhaji Atel Mahmoud, are you the one calling? Because it's +31 Holland. Okay, Holland, sorry. So let me put the link here.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, my dear brother. Your name and where you're calling from?
Rami from Egypt.
Rami, you called on my program before, right?
Yeah, last week.
Okay, nice to meet you, bro. How may I help you today?
I have some questions. And what surah is this? Surah Al-An'am.
Yeah.
Verse, the one that talks, that says, Haza Rabbi or Haza Akbar. No? When Abraham said that.
Concerning Ibrahim, yes. Okay.
When the word Shams is feminine, right?
Yes.
Then why does Ibrahim say it Haza? Or is he referring to Rabbi as it is masculine, or is it some other reason?
It is Ibrahim speaking in that instant. It's not God speaking. If a human being is speaking, for instance, I give an example. If we as a human being, if I as a human being, I'm speaking. If I'm talking about, for instance, an animal, right? I can decide to use it, or I can decide to use her or him if I know the gender. If I don't know the gender, I can just say it as a human being speaking, right? It is based on my perspective and my knowledge at that time. I can use the choice of pronoun or choice of attributes I want to use to describe what I'm seeing. So when he said that, it doesn't mean he has that knowledge at once. It wasn't God speaking. It was what Abraham said is what God is telling us.
Makes sense since his perspective.
Exactly.
So in his language, it is male.
Exactly.
Another question. In 4:43.
Yes.
Allah says in وَلَا جُنُبًا إِلَّا عَابِرِ سَبِيلٍ.
Yeah.
What's the understanding of عَابِرِ سَبِيلٍ and the difference between it and عَلَى سَفَرٍ?
Yes. Just a second. I'm trying to pin this thing, the link for people to join with.
No problem.
Just a second. Yes, you are talking about Quran chapter 5 verse 6, or which verse?
4:43. 4:43.
4:43. Okay. Yes, and what was the question concerning that?
When Allah said وَلَا جُنُبًا إِلَّا عَابِرِ سَبِيلٍ.
Yes.
What does it exactly mean?
Have you seen my translation before of the Quran?
Yeah, I've read it. It says traversing the land, the road.
Yes. What did you understand by that?
Someone who traverses goes around a lot.
Yes.
I'm confused a bit. No.
Yeah. So if you are on the way, meaning you are not at home or you are not at a place where you can find water that easily. You understand? So you are in the state of uncleanliness at that time. You are unclean. Then he gives you the exception that you are traveling the road. Then he says, until you have washed. So meaning the salat can escape you at that time because you are not clean. So that's why he gave that exception. So he says, O you who believe, do not approach the salat while you are intoxicated. So meaning if I'm intoxicated, not in terms of alcohol, when somebody is sleeping and he wakes up from sleep, he is under intoxication.
Yep.
When somebody is about to fall asleep, also, we call it intoxication.
Yeah.
Right? And then when you take, let's say you've taken a medicine, a pill or something, sometimes you are intoxicated. Because of that, sometimes they tell you not to drive or not to walk. You understand? So the concept of intoxication is not limited to alcohol, as some people keep saying that, oh, alcohol. God never said alcohol in that verse.
Yeah.
He's talking to believers. So he mentioned if you are intoxicated. So meaning that is why the youth in the cave, chapter 18, verse 9 to verse 21, that is why they don't have to make up any salat or anything, because they slept for how many years? Over 300 years, 309 years. So tell me, how can they even get to make the salat?
And they can't.
They can't. Yes. So when you're sleeping, there's an exception. Of course, a believer doesn't want to miss salat, so he'll do his best to get up. But if you're sleeping and the salat passes you, it's not a blame on you. You understand? You are not supposed to approach the salat when you are intoxicated. And then until you know what you are saying, meaning if I'm actually awake, let's say at dawn, and I'm awake, I'm conscious wise, and I can stand up for salat, then I can do the salat because I know what I'm saying, right? Then he says, no, unclean. If you are unclean, you don't need to approach the salat.
Yeah.
Then he says, unless traversing the road, meaning you are crossing over, traveling around. Then he says, until you have washed, meaning you have taken a bath, because you are unclean, right? So it is only when you are clean, then you can establish salat. If you are not clean, you don't need to approach salat, regardless if it is the time for salat.
Okay. And then what's the difference between عابر سبيل and someone on a journey? شخص على سفر.
Yes, God uses choices of words to give you the further elaboration on the concept. So, for example, if you take Quran chapter 11, verse 114, it says, "Akimi salat tarafay nahar wa zulafan min al-layl," right? So it mentioned 3 salats. Tarafay nahar is telling you the dual of a noun here, meaning the 2 sides, the terminals of the day.
Edges or
Exactly. Then he says, "Wazulafan min al-layl." He didn't use the concept saying ila al-layl. Had he said ila al-layl, then it would only be 2 salats, meaning towards the night. But he used min al-layl, so it is out of the night, right?
Yeah.
So
right.
min al-layl meaning we have another salat in the night, out of the night. So to further explain that, if you go to Quran chapter 17, verse 78 to 79, you see God is explaining the same thing but with different words. So he says, "Akimi salat liduluki shams ila gasakil layl."
Yeah.
Then he says, "Wa Quran al-Fajr. Inna Quran al-Fajr kana mashhuda." Then he says, "Wa min al-layl fatahajjadu bihi." You see, he mentioned the layl now. So when you count the instance, you have 3 salats again, just as he mentioned in Quran chapter 11, verse 14. But he chose the different choice of words to explain the same concept.
Right.
You get my point?
So it's like the same, but not exactly the same.
Yes, giving you synonymous explanation of the same concept.
I see. Does the Quran say anything about creating art, creating living creatures in art?
From the earth?
Art, like drawing and sculpting and whatever.
It only talks about sculptures concerning the jinns, making sculptures for Suleiman. Nabi Suleiman, that's what it talks about. And also the sculptures that people make and worship. But apart from that, having a sculpture is not haram, because we saw the example of Suleiman, the jinns making it for him. I think in Surah As-Sad, chapter 38, it mentions that. But Quran never says anything of that sort is haram. Drawing or making sculptures is haram. He never said that.
The Sunnis like to make it haram and then make it the biggest sin of all.
Well, they have to prove it from the Book of God.
Well, yeah. The Book of God contradicts their idea. Like,
exactly. So if it is not from the Book of God, we don't need it.
Like, for example, my prophet.
Look, before you go on, this is what God says. Quran chapter 7, verse 32. I'm going to show you a verse. God says this. Maybe I can put it on the screen. For those on the backside, I'll come to you right now. Sorry, I kept you waiting. Let me just finish with the brother Rami. So Quran chapter 7, verse 32. This is what it says. Here. It says, "Say, who has forbidden the adornment of God which he has produced for his servant, as well as the good things of sustenance? Say, the adornment are exclusively for those who believe during the worldly life to the day of resurrection." Right? Thus have we explained the verses for people who know. So God is asking a question: who has forbidden the adornment of God which he has produced?
Yeah.
It is God who has to forbid something, not them forbidding something for us.
No one has the right to.
No, nobody. You get the point.
Even before I was, when I was Sunni, I didn't even like the hadith that said art is haram or drawing living creatures is haram.
Yeah, because they are lying. That is instinctive. It's instinct that makes you not like that idea, because it's not from God.
I'm an artist, okay?
Yeah.
And I instinctively want to draw. Like I want to draw. Don't tell me not to draw.
Well, they should start telling the AI that art is haram, because the AI is doing a lot of art.
Yeah, that's another topic. When I thought about the hadith itself, I was thinking I can draw anything and say it's living. I can draw a cube. I can draw a cube and make it living.
They are lying to you that God will bring that thing back to life on the day of judgment. It's a lie. So that's just a problem. Brother Rami, thank you. There's a lot of people on the queue. Let me bring them so that I don't stay.
May God bless you and have mercy upon you.
I appreciate that. God bless you too.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Peace. Salam to you, my brother.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Brother Abu Suleiman.
Yes, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. The first time you're calling on my program.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to call you, Baba Shuaib. I strongly support what you are doing.
I appreciate that. God bless you.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, just one comment about the previous call. MFG said there is a trick to not die. It's just to have pictures and dogs in your home, so the angel of death will not come to your home. So this is regarding pictures and, so this is the first.
Yes, that's what he said
Second,
in his book, yes.
Yeah, second, regarding this episode about Sneako and the incident with Asim al-Hakeem and Uthman bin Farooq trying to fix what happened. I was spamming your chat about this one link video. It's a short 30-second video, but it shows that Uthman says to Sneako that the extra part, which is men of Al-Yemen are the best, this extra part is weak because it is narrated by Ibn al-Musayyib. Okay?
Yes.
And yes, but and there is Abu Huraira there as well. Yeah. But he says the ulama, the scholars said this is weak hadith or weak addition because it is narrated by Ibn al-Musayyib from Abu Huraira, and Ibn al-Musayyib never met Abu Huraira.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
But Uthman himself, in the link that I was trying to share, Uthman himself on video, he said Abu Huraira daughter married Ibn al-Musayyib. And it is well known in their books that Abu Huraira himself offered his daughter for Ibn al-Musayyib for marriage. So he's contradicting himself in video. And this is what I wanted to add.
Yeah, I've noticed that part.
Yes.
I saw that video. I think that video, it contains David Wood or something. I saw that part. That video played. Was it a day ago? So the video you're talking about, I know about that. I saw it.
Yeah, and when I saw the video, I thought maybe, okay, someone can marry daughter of someone without meeting him. But in the books, I went to the books. The book says Abu Huraira blessed that marriage. So they met 100%.
Yes.
Yeah, and at the end, I support all what you are doing, and I ask Allah to reward you, Baba Shuaib, and thanks a lot.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. Peace. Yes, so that is Abu Suleiman. He's on, always watching my program. He's always on MFG's program as well. So let's bring in the next caller. Salam to you.
Oh, salam alaikum, Baba.
Wa alaikum salam, my dear brother, Mr. Cruising Toot. Today I get to speak to you.
It's my pleasure to speak to you, Baba.
It's a pleasure, yes.
I don't know if my question is stupid, Baba. I'm sorry, but I don't understand this verse fully. It's chapter 4, verse 15 and 16.
Okay.
It mentions about this punishment of, let's see, to restrain them in the houses until death takes them away or God makes a way for them.
Okay.
What does this mean about if God makes a way for them?
Yeah, I will explain. So now we take Quran chapter 4, verse 15. It says, as for those who commit, it talks about elati, talking about the women, right? As for those women who commit obscenity, that is Fahisha, among your women. Then he says, hence 4 of you shall testify against them. So 4 of you here is talking about men. Minkum, the men testifying against them. Thus, if they testify, then restrain them, hunna, in the houses until death takes them away. Or, you see 2 options. Until death takes them away, or God makes a way for them. So it doesn't mean they are sentenced to death.
Yeah, no, I got that part, but what does that mean? The God makes a way for them.
I'm going to explain that.
Yeah.
You see, in Arabic, God used the word "aw yaj'alallahu lahunna sabila." I want you to pay attention to this part.
Okay.
That part.
Let's see. Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. Yaj'alallahu lahunna sabila. Now I'm going to take you to Quran chapter 65, verse 1. Chapter of what? Talaq. Divorce, right?
Yeah.
Now check what God told the prophet. He says, "Oh, you prophet, when you divorce the women, then divorce them by their period, meaning iddatihinna, meaning by counting the period, right, of the months they have to be before you divorce them, right?
Yeah.
And count the period and beware of God, your Lord. Do not expel them from their homes, nor shall they leave unless they have what? Committed a what?
Oh, I can't wait. Let me see. Committed a proven adultery.
Adultery, or we can see a what? A proven obscenity. The fahisha can be obscenity, can be adultery, it can be, you can translate it as such, right?
Okay, yeah.
Unless if they have committed a proven adultery, meaning they are witnesses.
Okay.
Then he says, these are the limits of God, and whoever trespasses the limits of God, then he has wronged his soul. You do not know, perhaps God will bring about a matter after that. Now, where I want you to pay attention, in this same chapter of divorce, this is what God says in Quran chapter 65, verse 4. Verse 4. God used this word here. For example, he used the word yaj'al lahu min amrihi yusra. Then apart from that, he used another one here. He says, وَمَنْ يَتَّكِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلَ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. Do you see it on the screen?
Yeah.
So God says he will make a way out for the person. I'm just giving you an example why I highlight the last sentence in chapter 4, verse 15.
Yeah.
Okay. Then again, chapter 65, verse 4, God says he will make his matter easy for him. Now, the reason why I brought you to these verses to explain chapter 4, verse 15, look what God told the prophet concerning his wives if they commit adultery. Did you see what God said to the prophet when in case his wife should commit adultery?
Okay, wait.
Chapter 65, verse 1.
Yeah. And do not expel them from their homes, nor shall they leave unless they have committed
a proven.
So they should leave if they have committed a proven.
If you have divorced them, they have to leave. Why are they at the house arrest? It's only when you didn't arrest them. You didn't divorce them. Then they have to stay house arrest. It's only when you divorce them, they have to leave. Why are they house arrest for? For what?
Okay, so they made this obscenity in 4:15. And then the punishment is to stay in the house, but you divorce them and they leave the house.
Of course, that is how. God
So that's about you mean. That's what you mean. Like God makes a way for them. So
thank you.
Baba, this was not easy to find.
It's a simple issue. You use the messenger and the prophets as an example. So the law God gave him is what you use to understand the verse. So if you divorce the lady, she goes. What are you arresting her for? To do what? What is the house arrest for? In this Western world, when somebody commits a certain type of crime, they do house arrest. House arrest meaning if you think the wife you're married to goes out to sleep, out to commit fahisha with other people, the best thing is to stop going out, right?
Okay. Now, wait. I actually understand it even better now because you mean.
So if you think still she stays at home and she will commit fahisha, the best thing is to divorce her. Then she has to leave.
Oh, Baba, I'm so happy I called you today.
Thank you. Remember, I'm the correctional officer.
I was scared to call you because I was like, maybe this is a stupid question, but it's not so easy.
It's not stupid. It's not a stupid question. For a lot of people, it's a controversial question or confusing question, but it's just simple. You just need to understand the perspective God is speaking to the prophet first by giving him the rules. Then you apply it to the believers. That's it.
Is this being recorded so I can rewatch this again and to?
It's recorded, and hopefully, hopefully, I will leave this on YouTube. I will not cut it off because it's not up to 3 hours or 4 hours.
Can I ask just one more question? It's
yeah, you can ask. Yeah,
it's 4:24.
Chapter 4:24.
Yeah, it says. Let's see here. It talks about who are unlawful for you, and then it mentions in 4:24, and the married among women, but except those your right hand possess.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm not understanding this part. Is it? I mean, you cannot marry.
Start with the context. Whoever is calling, I'm talking to somebody on the call. Please. You start with the context. The context is above. It's telling you the type of women you are not supposed to marry. Marry. So that verse 24 is connected to 23.
Yeah.
So coming down, if a woman is already married, you can marry her again. That is what it means.
If a woman is married, you can marry her.
You cannot marry her.
Not marry. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I heard that wrong. Sorry. So you cannot marry. But why does it then say except those your right hands possess?
Yes, except those your right hands possess. It's giving you an exception of those now you can marry.
So you cannot marry, for example, because I have a different understanding than a lot of Muslims about right hands possess. I do not see them as slaves or anything.
No,
like
it
that.
doesn't say slaves there.
Yeah, I've understood. I've researched this a bit. But can a right hands possess woman be married and you still marry her? Right?
No, that's not what the verse means.
Okay.
That's not what the verse said. Look, when we start from 23, I'll just give an example. God says, unlawful to you are your mothers, your daughters, your sisters, your paternal aunts, your maternal aunts, the daughters of your brother, the daughters of your sister, your mothers who nurtured you, and your sisters from the breastfeeding, the mothers of your what? The mothers of your women, that is your wives, your foster children who are under your guardianship from your women, that is your wives, whom you have entered into them, meaning you copulated with the woman. You cannot marry their kids. But if you have not entered into them, meaning you have not copulated with her, then there is no blame on you, as well as the wives of your sons, those from your loins, your biological son. You are not supposed to marry his ex-wife, or you understand? Then to combine two sisters together, except what has already preceded, right? Indeed, God is forgiving and merciful. Then he says, and the married among women is still giving you the list.
Okay.
So that's why you see the conjunction there, wal muhsanat, meaning they have already been taken.
Okay, so it's not talking about. So after it says the married among women, and then
it brings the exception.
Yeah. Okay. So the exception is not connected to the married women.
Yes. The exception is telling you now after the list which has been mentioned that you are not supposed to marry.
Okay.
The exception now comes down.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. This makes a lot of sense now.
Yes. That's the point. That's the point. So you have to connect the verses to get the context to understand the differentiation God just made. So the exception comes below. After the list of the ones you cannot marry, then the exception comes.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I had a feeling that might be the answer. I was just not sure. But
now you're sure, inshallah.
Yeah. Now I'm sure. It's corrected from the correctional officer. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Baba, I see that you have a lot of callers, so I'm gonna.
Yes. I do have a lot of callers. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
God bless you, man.
You
Bye.
too. Peace. Salam to you, brother.
Assalamu alaikum, Baba Shoaib. How are you?
Wa alaikum salam, my brother. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Dean. I'm calling from Zimbabwe.
Oh, nice to meet you, brother, from Zimbabwe. Is it? Let me try to say something from Zimbabwe. Maita Masa. Is it Maita Masa? What? How do you say it?
Meta Masa. I'm not sure. I'm not too sure. I haven't heard that.
Isn't Maisa Mata or something? There's a way to say thank you. How do you say thank you in Zimbabwe?
Majita Tatenda or Tatenda.
Or Tatenda.
Yeah, it would be like Ndatenda would mean like thank you.
Aha, okay, good. Thank you for helping me out. Anyways, how may I help you, Brother Dean?
Okay, Baba Shoaib. So I recently came across your channel not so long ago, a few months ago, and I have been listening to some of your talks and things, and I find it very enlightening. I had two questions. Now, the first question is pertaining to the Hadith and Salah, but the second question, I'm going to start with the second question first because I'd like your opinion on this. It's about Yajuj and Majuj, and it's not something I've been fixated on. It's something that I've been pondering over for many years now, and 90% of the scholars, 99%, I'll say 100% of the scholars, when I've spoken to them about it, I get dismissed about it, and I don't really get much answers. But when I looked into it, I'm finding my reasoning very logical, and I would really like your opinion on this. So regarding Yajuj and Majuj, we find it in two places in the Quran, two references. The first reference, one of the incidents in the Quran where Dhul Qarnayn, basically, the Quran gives us an account of his travels and the people he met, etc., and then when he put up the barrier, etc. So I want to look at the other verse in Surah Anbiya, verse 95. And I looked at the translation from Sahih International. I also purchased your translation of the Quran, and I found your translation to be pretty similar to the translation of Sahih International. So Surah Anbiya, verse 95, yes. So over here it says, I've got my Arabic Quran, wa haramun ala qaryatin. So we have forbidden a people of a town which we have previously destroyed, that they will ever return until Yajuj and Majuj have been released. Now, this to me, my first question was, who is Allah talking about? To me, when I looked, if you look at the previous nations, it can't be Ad, it can't be Thamud, it can't be people in general, because they are dead. They are not coming back. It had to be a people of a town who were evicted, who were kicked out of the land, and that they are still with us. They are going to return. And the only conclusion that I can rationally conclude in my mind is that these people are the Israelite people. And if this is the case,
point of correction. You said something that just confused me right now. You said if the people are what, they are dead?
No. I was saying before that if you look at the people of Ad and Thamud and Noah, etc., if you're generalizing these people, and you know, like some of the scholars basically put it into a bunch and say that no, it's a general term to talk about all previous nations that have been destroyed, that they'll never return. This didn't sit well with me because they are dead. They are not going to return in this world, in this life. So when I concluded, I tried to analyze and see which people could Allah be talking about. And the only people that I can see in history that are living today of their ancestors, and they were kicked out of the land to not return, which is confirmed in their own scriptures that they are not to return until the Mashiach arrives. They are banned from returning, are the Israelite people because of their transgressions. So if I can conclude, when I concluded that if this is true, if it is the Israelite people, then it must logically follow that Yajuj and Majuj have been released already. And the reason why I also deduced this is because, look, I live in Zimbabwe. And if we look over the past few hundred years, we look at the Europeans who have calm down.
Brother Dean,
Yes.
let's
Yes.
cut this short. You came to ask me a question, or you came to explain something?
Sorry, sorry. I just wanted to try and give as much of the information that I had. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Please, if you can,
But the point
give me
is,
your
the
insight on
idea
it.
is you come on, you ask your question. Yeah, idea is we have to listen to you, then you have to create another program for you to come and tell us your
Sorry,
findings.
Baba Shre. Sorry, Baba Shre.
You only came in, you read the translation, and then you said, "Oh, I saw that you translated the same thing. You didn't give me the chance to explain anything. You just went ahead and started talking. What is the idea of this? I don't get it."
Sorry, Baba Shreeb. I actually wanted to ask your opinion on this here to
What,
find
no,
out if it's
what is the
if
main
it's
question? Ask me the main question. What is the question?
would these people that Allah is talking about in this verse, would you also deduce that it's the Israelite people?
No, I don't see any connection there.
Okay, but you don't think that Allah is talking about a specific people?
No, it's a title.
What is the title? What?
It's a title. Just like when you mention when you say police, police is a title. It doesn't actually allocate to an entity directly that you see that this is the entity who is only called police. So the title is Yajuj Majuj, which gives you the signal of corruption. So when you see Yajuj and Majuj, we say a signal of corruption. So when you go to Quran chapter 18, this is it. Chapter 18, verse what? Let's start from chapter 18, verse 19. Here, it says, it talks about Zulkarnain, then he says he reached, let me bring to that point here. He reached to a dam, and then the people said, "Oh, possessor of the two horns, indeed, Gog and Magog are what? Corruptors on earth. So can we allocate an expenditure to you in order to make a dam between us and them?" So now, do you see the signature here? What the Gog and Magog, what do they normally do? What is the signature there? They are corruptors of what?
Cause facade on earth, basically.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's their signature. They cause facade on earth. This is the title of the thing they do. So it doesn't represent just like a particular person or entity. It's the title and what they do, characteristics. It defines a characteristics of particular type of people who do certain things. They are full of corruption. Are you getting my point?
Yeah, I do get you. Yeah.
So if you look at it as just the name of an entity, like let's say Baba Shuaib, that is my name, then you are going to get it wrong. You are going to be assuming. But if you look at the description of the characteristics, that is where you get to know who is Gog and Magog. They are actually corruptors on earth. So wherever that people, those type of characteristics appear, that means Gog and Magog has appeared. So when you take my translation of Quran chapter 21, verse 95, it is simply telling you, and it is forbidden for a town which we have annihilated that they should return until when Gog and Magog have been opened. So meaning Gog and Magog, what does it signify?
I always understood Gog and Magog to be Banu Adam, a tribe or peoples from Banu Adam.
No. I'm just giving you a perspective now. Listen.
Okay.
Gog and Magog. God says when Gog and Magog have been opened. Do you open people?
No, but I'm assuming it's talking about the dam, the Radam.
But it didn't say dam here. He says until when Gog and Magog have been opened. Then he says, and they will procreate from every acclivity. He's telling you about corruption. Gog and Magog signifies or symbolize corruption. What does God do? Whenever there's corruption on a land, what does God do to the corruptors?
They are dealt with.
Exactly. So God says it is forbidden for a town which we have annihilated that they should return. So meaning if they have been dealt with, God destroys them. But then they return, right? So Gog and Magog is to signify corruption on earth. So until when Gog and Magog have been opened, they will procreate from every activity. We see corruption from every corners of the earth now.
Yes, correct.
Back in the days when you read from the Quran, whenever a town or a city does corruption, what does God do to them? He annihilates them.
Yeah.
When he annihilated Pharaoh, did they come back? No. When he annihilated Ad and Tamud, did they come back? No. When he annihilated the people of Shu'aib, did they come back? No. When he annihilated the people of Noah, did they come back? No. But until Gog and Magog have been opened, which means corruption will spread everywhere. Because the Gog and Magog symbolize corruption. Are you getting my point?
Yeah, I'm getting your point. I'm just confused about the verse just before 95, which is saying that that they will ever return. That they will ever return.
Yes, if God destroys a particular people, I just gave you an example. He destroyed the people of Pharaoh. Did they come back?
No, they didn't. Obviously,
Yes,
they can't.
that's the point.
Yeah, they can't. Okay, so.
But what happened in the time of Lot? Whatever transpired in the time of Lot, is it still happening today or not?
No, it's not. Oh, wait, sorry, it is, yes.
Thank you. Whatever happened in the time of Pharaoh, is it still happening today or not?
Yes, it is, yes.
Thank you. Now check all these people God annihilated in the Quran. Whatever they did, is it still happening today or not?
Yes, a lot of it. Most of it.
Thank you. So that marks the starting, that marks the opening of Gog and Magog. That is corruption.
Okay, so you would say that it's okay. So it's not you won't say it's a particular people. It is.
If it's a particular people, you'll be confusing the narrative. Then that's when you'll be assuming. You'll be saying, "Oh, I think it's the Israelites, or I think it's the Arabs, or I think it's these Jews." I think
no. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that they are the Jews or the Israelites. From what I understood was. What I assumed from before was that when Allah says that it is ordained that no nation, that there's a town or city of a people of a town or city that have been forbidden from ever returning until Yajuj and Majuj have been released and they will swarm from every elevation. I was assuming that those people to have returned would have been the Israelite people, which have returned in our modern, over the last century. And the fact that they've returned, I was assuming that they've returned with the help of Yajuj and Majuj. So this is where maybe I had a little bit of confusion, because I mean we have a narration in the Quran where Dhul Qarnayn put up a physical barrier of iron to keep a particular people back.
It doesn't say people.
It doesn't say people. So what would you say that physical barrier represents then, if it's not a people?
No,
because it was a barrier made of iron.
Wait. The verse doesn't say people, to keep people away.
Yajuj and Majuj back. Yes.
You just say Yajuj and Majuj. Okay, what if I tell you they are insects, for example?
No, I don't believe the insects. I mean,
thank you. What if I tell you they are genes?
No, I
okay, so tell me how you got to know they are people.
Okay, well then, if I'm not mistaken, we're gonna go to Hadith. There's a Hadith. I'm not sure any reference to it, but I've heard.
This is the confusion. I'm just giving you. That is the confusion. I'm giving you a simple narrative from the Quran. Let the Quran explain things to you. Don't leave the Quran and assume things Quran never said. Are you getting my point?
Yeah, I understand you.
Let's stick with the words of the Quran. In the space of the Quran, what is the Quran saying? Did he say this? Did he say that? If he never did, understand the context in which God is speaking. That's all you need to do.
Okay.
Are you getting my point? God never said Gog and Magog are this or that. No. So I said, look at it as a characteristic, as a title. That's all I said.
Okay.
When you look at it like that, you get your answer. But when you start trying to look beyond that, you say, okay, now I have to go to the Hadith to listen to their story. I have to go to this to listen to what they have to say. You'll be confused.
Yeah, I think that's where the confusion is coming, because there's so many conflicting Hadith about it. You can't make ijma on any of them.
Thank
So-
you. That is the point. That is the point. So let's stick with God to make our issues simple. That's all. Don't complicate the issues. So, Brother Dean, do you have any further question? I have to pick up the next caller.
Sorry, Baba Shaib, I had one more question about the Salah. So I've been seeing some of your videos regarding the Salah and their timings, etc., from the Quran. Now, my question about it is that all my life I've prayed 5 Salah a day. Okay. And now what you've said is quite convincing. I've looked at the references in the Quran and it all makes sense. Although there's one issue that I'm having.
Yes.
The issue is that just like I believe that the Quran has been preserved through obviously mass transmission, I believe that there are some parts of the Sunnah which are, and I am with you in the sense that I don't believe Sunnah equals Hadith and Hadith equals Sunnah, right? But from what I'm understanding is that the Prophet ﷺ in his time had a living tradition of how he prayed Salah. And I'm finding it difficult to grasp the fact that Salah could have been changed to be changed to make 3 Salah, or however you had termed it, from the Quran throughout time. Because if there were 5 Salah, if for example he made 5 Salah a day, it was taught just like the Quran on mass transmission. The Salah was like a living tradition. It was taught on mass. The kids would be taught, the people would be taught, people would be praying in the masjid. So where in time did, on a mass scale all over the world, it was changed from that 3 to 5 in the Prophet's life and just after the Prophet's life? Didn't it just get transmitted through mass transmission, basically like a living tradition of that 5 Salah a day, included also for us to be told to establish that night prayer? I'm just battling with this here because I'm trying to find out how it could have been changed while it was so mass transmitted, practiced as like a living tradition.
Thank you. Let's go to the same example as Christianity. Christians, do they worship Jesus?
Yes, I believe so.
So in which time did they actually swap from worshiping God to start worshiping Jesus? Because Jesus never asked them to worship him. Neither did he tell them he is God. So from which time did they switch from actually worshiping the true God, according to Jesus himself, the true God, John chapter 17, verse 3, he said God is the true God.
The only true Father, yeah.
Only true God.
Yeah.
So from which time did they switch from worshiping the true God to now started worshiping Jesus? In which time in history did that happen?
I would say around the Council of Nicaea time, which would be...
So it's actually happened. Wait. So it's actually happened. You see how they switched?
Yes.
Now use the same analogy. Bring it back to Islam. You are saying if the Prophet, you think the Prophet did 5 prayers, or you think he did 3 prayers, how did he switch from 3 to 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So use the same analogy. How did he switch? Because people have to change the doctrine. When you check the doctrine, you change the narrative. So how did they do that? They have to shift the focus from the Quran to the what? To the Hadith books. Just like the Jews shift their focus from the Torah to the what? Talmud. Just like the Christians shift their attention from the Old Testament to the what? To the New Testament.
So you think that it could have been, I mean, the way Salah was performed was such a huge mass scale, and there was
how did you know that? You are still quoting from Hadith. If you tell me it was a huge much scale, you are still talking from the perspective of the Hadith books.
Well, I would assume because Salah is one of the main foundation tenets of Islam. So
did he start with Prophet Mohammed?
No, Ibrahim alayhi salam.
So let's not waste our time on the later one. Let's focus on Abraham. Yeah.
So I see we have references of how Ibrahim alayhi salam prayed. He recited verses.
In the Quran, yes, they recited the verses and fall down in prostration. It's already in the Quran, and it's 3 times given in the Quran. So Prophet Muhammad was asked to follow the Millata Ibrahim, right?
Yes, correct.
So if you follow the Millata Ibrahim, why are we wasting our time checking Hadith books and so on to convince ourselves with cabbages when God is already speaking to us in the book of God.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I'm assuming that we believe in progressive revelation as well. So what was brought with the Prophet ﷺ, I just assume that he instituted that 5 salah. I'm not looking at hadith. I'm putting that aside. I'm just trying to use my reason here to say that if it was changed in that analogy, like the Christians, how they changed their doctrine, it would have to have been changed on such a mass scale, and we've got no history or any record of anything in the past of it have been said that it was changed.
The hadith books, are they followed on a large scale or not?
They are followed on a large scale, yes.
How many people, how many percentage of people do you think follow the Quran alone?
5%, 10%, 5%, maybe even less.
And God says majority are always in what?
Yeah, if you follow the majority on earth, they'll misguide you.
So will you rather listen to God, or you rather listen to what people say?
This is my thing. I want to follow what Allah wants me to follow. I want to follow Him. Since I've listened to your video, I'm just focusing on the Quran. I'm focusing on the Quran as much as I can. But something that is so ingrained in me, it's like I'm scared that if I changed my form of salah, look, I've got a routine. I say takbir, I make my salah, I do prostrate in my salah, and I do the best I can. To change my whole system based on something that I'm
Are you aware of Quran chapter 17, verse 36?
Let me open it. I've got it here in front of me. Chapter 17, Surah Al-Isra.
Yes, verse 36.
Verse 36. Let me go to it. Sorry, I'm not using your translation because it's on my phone.
No, don't worry. It's okay.
Okay, do not follow what you do not know, for the ear and the eye and the heart shall be all called to account.
Okay. Do you rock or do you resonate with that wisdom there?
Yes, don't believe everything you hear and see.
It doesn't say believe, no.
Okay, do not follow what you do not know.
Thank you. So the hadith you are following to do all your salat, do you actually know the hadith which teaches you how to do salat?
Yeah, I know it's not in one single hadith, it's in multiple hadiths, and they have basically the schools of thought, from what my understanding, have brought them all together and made ijma on basically the fundamentals of it.
So at the end of the day, when they said, the Prophet says, Sallu kama ra'aytumuni usalli, which means that's a problem then. Because if they should pray as they have seen him pray, why is it that they don't have a hadith which tells them how to pray from the ikama to the salam in full, in one hadith? How come they don't have it?
Yeah, no, they don't. I know that for sure. I've looked. I can't find.
Then why are we wasting our times with those books? Why waste your time with such books?
Well, I use them in terms of now, from my understanding now, I'm using it for extra information and historical, and but I'm not taking my deen from it, because
even the history they have there is a lie. It's not consistent.
It isn't consistent. I'm finding a lot of contradictions in it, and a lot of things with. I mean, look, you can't tell someone who comes into my confusion is, you can't tell someone who comes into Islam, like, I had a friend who reverted and they came into Islam, and I told them, this is the book you need, the Quran. And then I must go and tell them, here's all the hadith books, you have to study this, otherwise you're a mushrik, or you aren't a full Muslim. It doesn't sit well for me. And then we must go and study all the hadiths. And then, like in a masjid the other day, the Imam was talking and he was saying, he was a bit like hyped up, and he said, because I think some people are going this route a little bit more. So he was basically saying, don't go and interpret the hadith yourself. Come to us and we will explain the hadith to you. Otherwise you will lose your religion. You'll get confused. So are they saying to us that only the power lies with them and we have to now come take religion from them? It's really put a spanner in my brain, Baba Shoaib. Like
that is what we call mental slavery. They want to mentally enslave you. And what Baba Shuaib is here to do for you is to liberate you from mental slavery when it comes to the aspect of religion. Right? So if you are new to my channel, I'll recommend that you watch some of my YouTube channels. Go to my playlist, Know Your Religion. You get to understand what Islam is about, and then you take your lessons from there. The scholars are just there to mislead you, so don't pay attention to them.
Look, I think a lot of scholars obviously have good intentions. Maybe they're doing it without knowing fully.
No,
But,
don't think for them, please. Don't think for them.
Yes.
Don't think for them.
So regarding the salah, say for example, now if I establish the salah at the two ends of the day, let's just take the two ends of the day. So Fajr, for example, if I come and I perform Fajr, and I don't make any takbir, what do? I stand and
wait. Don't assume things, please. I have the video on it. It's on my YouTube channel. Please.
I looked for it.
My YouTube channel. Look for the playlist. The Salat series is there. You find it there.
Okay, so I can.
Yeah.
I'll go and I'll watch that.
Let me pick up the next caller. I've given you enough time.
Okay. No, Jazakallah. Thank you for your time.
You benefited from this. So thank you, Brother Dean. We keep in touch. Peace.
Thank you. Jazakallah.
Salam to you, brother. Brother Baris, are you here? Baris, maybe your mic has an issue. Okay, Brother Baris, we lost him.
Hello.
Yeah, salam to you. Your name.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm from Michigan.
Your name is Azad, right?
Yeah, it's originally Carlos, but I changed it.
Okay, no problem, Carlos. How may I help you, Carlos? You have 1 or 2 questions to go.
Okay, so first I want to say that Uthman, when he was in Australia, he was like saying that is Aisha's age in the Quran? No. So he was kind of using like Quranist reasoning to say that she wasn't 9 or 6 to this Christian guy. So I just wanted to say that first. And my second question was on animal sacrifice in the Quran, like, because there is I think there's like a verse in there about, like, could you explain like if animal sacrifice is like halal or haram?
Animal sacrifice in the Quran?
Yeah.
It is not haram, it is halal. Yes, animal sacrifice is there.
All right. And can you show me how to pray, like how to pray without committing shirk?
Oh, I have the video. I have it on my YouTube channel. You can pray without committing shirk. The video is there. I have it on. If you go, are you watching from my YouTube channel?
Yeah, I'm new.
Okay. So on my YouTube channel, if you go to the playlist session, there is what we call Salat series.
All right.
Yes, Salat series. You find all the videos are there, and I will recommend you watch the playlist called Know Your Religion. Know Your Religion means you have to know your the way you have to serve God first. You know God and know the reason why you have to serve God before you start talking about Salat.
All right. And can you tell me like why are like the Sunnis like funded by the Saudi government?
Not all Sunnis. Some Sunnis, yes. Not all Sunnis are funded by Saudi government. Some Sunnis are just Sunnis.
Because Draven, he posted like this thing on his story, and it showed like these badges and these symbols. And there was like one symbol that looked like a Freemason symbol. And I know that the Freemason thing is like kind of a universal thing by now.
So in a simple nutshell, is Saudi a friend of America?
Yes.
Yes, so that should give you the answer then.
Yeah, it's crazy. But
If
thank
they are
you.
friends, show me your friend and I'll show you your character.
What'd you say?
There's a saying which says, show me your friend and I'll show you your character.
Yeah. What do you think about the Yemenis and what's happening in Palestine?
Saudis hate Yemenis, right?
Yeah.
Not all Saudis, but I mean the Saudi government hates Yemeni. So they have a personal beef, right? So if Yemen is sticking up for this, and then Saudi doesn't agree. It shows there's a division, and this sometimes is a political issue. But that is not my main focus right now. My main focus is letting people understand the truth and understanding God. That's what matters.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, man. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, salam to you,
Salams,
brother
brother.
Hussein. Salam. Nice to meet you.
Salams. Nice to meet you. Real quick question. I was
Yeah.
having a conversation the other day. The verse about prayer and the declining of the sun. So these people are adamant that you are wrong. They were saying, it's from midday down. And they were saying, oh, Baba is just doing this from his own free will. And when I've heard you explain it, I didn't quite understand it. Maybe you can just teach me, because when I hear them explain it, the declining from midday down, okay, that on one level it makes sense. And then I hear you and MFG say it, and then on another level it makes sense. But I'm still confused, and I suspect other listeners are also confused. So can you please explain what that means?
There's no confusion in this. The word delaka, did they tell you what it means? The word delaka, what does it mean?
Decline?
The root word. No, that's not the root word. The root word is dalaka. So let me do this. I'll just put it on the screen for people to see, right? When you let sectarians confuse you with the narrative, because their narrative, they take from the external sources to explain the words of God. And that is where the confusion comes in, right? Now, I'm just putting this on the screen, but this one is just the Modern Standard Arabic, right? So it will not give you I'm just using this as an example. So I'll put it on the screen so you see. This is the root word, da-la-ka. Do you see the root word?
Yes.
Okay. And this website gives you Modern Standard Translation, Modern Standard Version of Arabic language translation. But delaka, in the Modern Standard Version, the literal meaning, you see the word, is massage. Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay. But when you go to the extended meaning, the literal extended meaning, you have fade away, to rub something off, to rub something, to fade away, to massage something. So, when you're rubbing something, it's like massage at the same time, right? And when you rub cream, what does it do? When you have cream in your hand and you're rubbing it, what does it do? It fades away. So my question to you is, the sun, does it fade away in the middle of the day, or it fades away when it's setting?
When it's setting.
So whenever you are checking the literal meaning or root word of a word, it's to give you the branch of the word. It has to be synonymous going forward. The meaning shouldn't be far away from each other. They have to be closer in line. So when you take the root word dalaka, where did they get the idea of declining from the middle of the day from that word?
Well,
when we say, you look at the word, it's a present continuous, declining. When something is declining, is it when it's standing straight that it declines? Or is it when already it's on the way declining that it declines? How can something be in the middle of the day? The salat, they say zuhur. What is the meaning of zuhur? Noon. If they are doing the zuhur salat, do we say the sun is declining?
I mean, from their argument, they're saying, the noon is the highest point, and then it's going down.
That is the name argument. The simple question is, can it fade away in the middle of the day?
No.
So then we are far away from the meaning of the word.
I just need you to backtrack. How did you link massage to fade away?
You didn't pay attention to what I said. I just said this is the Modern Standard meaning. You brought the literal word to show you the literal meaning of the word. The literal root word is da-la-ka. That's why I put it on the screen. I'm not putting the meaning massage on the screen for you.
Okay.
This is the root word. I'm just showing you the root word.
Okay.
Okay, let me go another website to show you them. so that you see it further. Dalaka.
And the only reason I said that is because they were making the claim that you and MFG were saying it means massage. So I guess that was stuck in my head.
I never did. When did I say? When did you talk to me and I say it means massage? When?
No, this is what they were saying. You say.
Okay, no problem. Let me show this screen here. Can you see the screen?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Do you see the root word up there, dalaka?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to show you something. You can go to reverso. You put it, that's dalaka. You see the word there, dalaka?
Yeah.
Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So now reverso is giving you the meanings. Like you see massage, you see rob. I told you about the rob, right?
Yes.
You see the knit, the robin. Now you see embrocate. Now let's use the word embrocate. So embrocate. Then we have embrocate. Then we have the word stroke. Then we have the word knead. Knead. Then we have the word rob. Then we have the word massage. Then now I take you to Almani. So here, then I put da la ka. I hope you're watching the screen.
I am, yes.
Okay. So now, this is Dalaka on the screen. Let me maximize it so that you see it bigger. I put us down here.
I see, yes.
Okay. Now, I want you to patiently check the meanings of the word.
Yep. Rub down, scour, scrub, anoint, caress, massage. Be about to go down, be about to set down, go down, set, anoint, caress, massage. Yep.
Thank you. So now tell me, how does this word signify the middle of the day?
It doesn't.
Thank you. So let's end the argument there.
Awesome. Okay. Beautiful.
Next question.
Beautiful. No, I got no other question. Thank you, Baba.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace to you, brother. Peace. Brother Baris.
Yes, salam alaikum. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother. Your
Yes.
name is Baris?
Yes. It's
Where are you calling?
From Germany.
Okay, nice to meet you, brother. How may I help you?
Nice to meet you.
You have one or two questions to go.
I have one question. It is regarding your translation of the Quran. I noticed that in verse 5 of Surah Al-Kafirun, Surah 109, you translated, "Now will you be worshippers of what I worship?" And I researched it. I thought it means, and you are not worshippers of what I worship, because in the same surah, the Arabic sentence is used twice, and I want to ask why you translated it like that, because
they are already kafirs. When somebody is a disbeliever, he has already taken a stance. He has made up his mind.
But yes, I can understand, but it is like a final judgment, because when somebody is a kafir now, he can be a believer later in life.
When somebody makes up their mind, I give an example. Let me use Quran chapter 4, verse 136 as an example. I use 37, no, 137. See what God says. I'm going to put it on the screen, right? Here, wait. Yes, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Do you see what God says? He says, "Indeed, those who believe and then disbelieve and then believe, and then disbelieve, and then increase in disbelief, God will not have to forgive them, nor will they be guided. Will He guide them to a way? Do you see it?
Yes. But why did you then translate it otherwise in the first sentence in verse 3?
I said, did you see this verse I just gave you?
Yes, I saw it.
So does it mean there's a level of disbelief that the person would never be guided again?
Can you repeat the question?
According to this verse, chapter 4, verse 137, does it signify that there's a level that a person reach in kufur that he will never be guided again?
There is no reason to.
The verse is, did you see the verse?
Yes.
God says, indeed, those who believe and then disbelieve, that is number 1. And then believe again, and then disbelieve, that is number 2. And then increase in disbelief, that is the 3rd time of disbelieving. And then increase in disbelief, God will not have to forgive them, that is number 1. They will not be forgiven, nor will He guide them to a way. So they will not be forgiven, they will not be guided. So does that mean they can still be guided after the 3rd attempt?
Yes, I understand they do not have to be, they are not going to be guided.
So those people, are they kafirs or not?
Yes.
So that is the final step of being a kafir. When a kafir, when we say a kafir has already made up his mind. He has rejected. Look, there is no amount of proof you give them. God says, وَسَوَاهُمْ عَلَيْهِمْ أَنْزَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنْزِرُهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Do you know that verse?
No, my Arabic is not that good.
Okay, that is in Quran chapter 2. Let me give you the verse. Sorry, Quran chapter 2, here, verse 6. It says, indeed, those who disbelieve, it is the same for them, whether you want them or you do not want them. They will not what?
Believe, yes.
Simple. That is what describes chapter 109. Qul ya ayyuhal kafirun, oh you the disbelieved, because they've already made up their mind. They are not ready to believe anything you have to say. So why will they worship what you worship?
Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, it's a little bit sad to hear, to be honest.
No, because it's a decision of the people. Look, we have people who have made up their mind. When they made up their mind to do something, there's no amount of conviction you can say to convince them. And it's not only about Islam. It's not only about faith. In every aspect of life, there are certain things you can never convince a person. If he says he has made up his mind, you'll just be wasting your energy.
Yes, yes.
Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's the logic behind it. I use the Quran to explain the Quran. I don't use people's opinion to explain the Quran. So it's the Quran that I use to do the interpretation and then translation.
Thank you.
You're welcome, brother. Peace.
Bye.
Bye. Brother Dean, you're back again.
How's it, Baba Sheb? As long as there's no other people.
No. Look, I have to pick up another caller. There is, but I just saw you come up. That's why I bring it back. Maybe you have something important. But what is the reason, actually?
Okay, it was just basically regarding the first question we had discussed. I was looking at your translation of the Quran. And in verse 96, if you could pull it up in Surah Anbiya. Sorry, I haven't got it right on me
verse
right
96?
now. Yes. Let me go to it as well.
96 Surah Al-Anbiya, chapter 21, verse 96.
Yeah, have you got it up? If you can pull it up for us.
What exactly you have there?
sorry, actually, it was from Surah Qaf, the incident with Dhul Qarnayn. When they asked him, he said, "Can the Yajuj and Majuj are causing corruption in the land? Can you put us up a barrier between us and them?"
Did you say 96?
Sorry, I'm going back to Surah Qaf. From Surah Qaf,
21,
verse
chapter
60
18, verse
something,
what?
I think it is. It was verse 90 something in Surah Surah Qaf. When
That's
they asked Dhul
94,
Qarnayn,
94. 94.
yes,
Mhm.
yes, and then your translation says, "Can you please? They're causing corruption in the earth. Can you put a barrier between us and them?" So
Yes.
my understanding is that them cannot be talking about a particular like title. It's a people's, because the words being used are them.
It says them, right?
Yes.
So let's use this example according to your logic.
Give me your Quran.
We are going to use your logic. Quran chapter 66 verse 6. Do you see Quran chapter 66 verse 6?
Yes.
I'm going to use your logic. Now tell me. God says, "Oh, you believe, protect yourselves and your families from a fire whose fuel is people and stones. Over it are thick and strong angels. They do not disobey God in what he commands them. And they do whatever they are commanded." My question is, the angels, are they also human beings?
No, they're not, but they are beings. The point is that they are beings. They're not like a
I
title.
didn't argue that Yajuj and Majuj cannot be beings, but I said it's a title given to a certain characteristics, meaning when you see people being corrupt, that is the sign of Yajuj and Majuj. That's what I meant. You are still not getting my point.
No, I understand the fact that it's a characteristic of, but the point is it's a characteristic of those beings.
Yes, that's the
Yes.
characteristic, but it doesn't mean it's limited to only two entities. We say, "Oh, this is Yajuj Majuj, they are only two, and they died and then they came back. This is them." No, that's not the point. So my point of letting you understand is the name Yajuj and Majuj is a characteristic of those individuals who are corrupt. It can happen in any generation. It's not limited to a particular generation only.
Okay. And then Dhul Qarnayn has been translated to the man with two horns in your translation. And I looked at some information about it, and Dhul Qarnayn, in other places in the Quran, it's used as two ages or two time zones, two time frames. So could it also mean someone acting upon two times?
Qarnayn can be used for two horns, can be used for two generations, as I said, but it's not limited to that. In order not to bring confusion, I put a literal understanding of the name. Are you getting the point?
Yes.
Just the literal understanding. I don't want to bring confusion in understanding what the name is about. So I just put a literal understanding, because the main topic is based on the subject, the entity, not about what his name means.
I see.
So it's about the entity. So the entity is not about two names, because the people talking to him, how did they know he possessed two generations? Did they see him carrying two generations?
No, of course not. No,
Okay, so
it's
if
just
they
it was just
if we translate it, listen carefully.
Yeah.
If we translate it as possessor of two generations or possessor of two centuries or whatever, how did the people got to know that he's possessing two centuries or generations?
Yeah.
So I use the literal understanding, meaning what people can see with their eyes. If you have a cap on, do you watch the AKEEM'S movies, the ancient movies, where you see the king wearing the cap with the horn or something on it? So if they say possessor of two hands, literally it makes sense, because he's wearing the cap on his head. So he has the two horns. Fine. That's a literal understanding of the verse. I don't want to bring any complication whereby you are asked a question and you stand there, you look stupid. You cannot answer. How did the people get to know that he possesses two generations? Nobody can answer.
It's an
So
easier
that-
translation to just literally, translate it literally.
Thank you,
Makes
thank
more
you.
sense.
I'm not saying it cannot be looked at in a different angle. It can be looked, but I'm saying I'm just giving the people the literal understanding to the verse instead of complicating issues for people. You get my point?
Okay.
Yes. So like, that's it, Dean. Let me just
Okay.
end
Thank you.
here.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Peace. So we have this caller, Hedy, and I have brother Hamza Malik is calling. After this caller, I'm going to call Hamza Malik. Yes, thank you, Sister Nora Ali. Thank you. The link is on the screen.
Hello, Baba.
Yes, hello, salam.
Salam. How are you? I hope you're doing good.
I'm doing well. Thank you, brother. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Hedy and I'm calling from Sweden.
Hedy, you called me before. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
You did, yes.
I just wanted to, I have a question about the Quran verse this time.
Okay.
Just a second.
Yes.
It's Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2, verse 282, where it talks about the witnesses.
Okay.
And it says you should either bring 2 male witnesses or 1 male and 2 females.
Yes.
And I understand like why there shouldn't be 1 man and 1 woman, because they might be married and they might lie and so on. And I just wanted to hear your opinion. Like, why do you think it says 1 man and 2 women, and it doesn't say, for example, 2 women only?
Okay.
Or like it says 2 men only. What's your understanding? Like,
are you please
considering
ask me the what the verse says. I don't like when people ask me what do I think.
Yeah. Okay.
We are going to see the wisdom behind what God says. So God says, "Oh, you who have believed, whenever you mutually contract a debt for a fixed term, then write it down, and let a writer among you write in justice. And a writer shall not refuse to write as God has taught him. So let him write, and let the one upon whom is the duty fill out, and let him beware of God." Right? Let him beware of God. Then he says, his Lord. So here he says, and he shall not depreciate anything thereof. And if the one upon whom is the duty is what? Foolish or weak or unable to fill it out, then let his hair fill out in justice, and quote 2 witnesses from your men. And if there are not 2 men, then a man and 2 women.
Yeah.
It's not saying 2 women. It says a man and 2 women. May it be, if it says a man and a woman, it could be a husband and a wife, I'm going to quote. So they could be biased.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. But
Exactly.
my question was like, sorry.
So it says a man and 2 women. Then from those you approve of witnesses, in case one of them errs, makes a mistake, then the other one of them will remind. You understand?
Yeah.
And the witnesses shall not refuse when they are invited, and they shall not be wary to write it down, whether small or big, until its term. That is more equitable in front of God and more appropriate for testimony. And the least not to mistrust each other, unless there is an existing business which you conduct among you, then there is no blame on you not to have written it down. And quote whenever you transact, and do not harm a writer nor a witness, for you do so. If you do so, then indeed it will be immoral of you. So beware of God, and God will teach you, for God is aware of all things. So the idea of having a man and 2 women, it could be if the man is married to that woman, you have to find another woman who will remind this couple in case they make a mistake.
Yeah, I understand that. But my question is like, why can there be like 2 men but not?
He already mentioned 2 men.
Yeah.
He already mentioned 2 men.
How about 2 women then?
He started with 2 men. Listen carefully.
Yeah.
The main idea is to have the president before the vice president. Are you with me? to have the president before the vice president. Can we have vice president without a president?
No.
Okay, so God first of all quote two witnesses from your men. It is men he needed as witnesses in the first place.
Yes.
Then he's giving you an exception. If there is no other man, if there are not two men, then you find two women to replace that one man.
Yeah. So you mean like there shouldn't be two women like at all in this situation, this particular situation?
The main instance was to have two men as witnesses. That's the first choice.
Yeah.
Two men. If they are,
is this because of the economic situation or?
No. God didn't say anything. We cannot look. If you look, even when it comes to inheritance, right?
Yeah.
A man is getting the share of how many people?
Yeah, I know. Two women.
Thank you. So God knows why he put that apportionment. So even when it comes to bearing witness in terms of writing down the debt, he says two men. Simple.
Yes, I know.
Uh-huh.
I know, but I wanted to hear like why do you think that is?
Why do I think? I just told you now. I just told you, may it be the man, if he says one man and one woman, maybe they are married. They are both couples. They can be biased.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, why does God say two men and not two women, for example?
Oh, if you already have the first option, why talk about the second option? Are you not getting my point? I ask you, can I have a vice president without a president?
No.
Okay, let's use this example. Why didn't God create a woman first? Why did he create a man instead?
Yeah, I understand, but I mean, I don't know if you understand like my question, but my question is like in I don't know, but I feel like in a situation like this, it should be possible to have only two witnesses. Like I understand they might be married. If I understand you can't put a man and a woman together, and I understand that you might put two men together. But I want to know the wisdom behind, like, why there can't be two women together as witnesses, and if this verse is also applicable today. Would you?
If you said to have two women as witnesses, then what is the position of a man?
It depends. I mean, I don't know.
So because it depends, and then that's why God gave you the option. Just like God says, when you want to do ablution, you use water, right?
Yeah.
But if there's no water, you use what?
Yeah, I understand. But if a man is not like present, for example, what should you do?
He just how on earth can a man not be present?
I mean, in that particular situation.
Where? How can a man not be present? You tell me. Is there any country where it's only women, no man?
No, but if for example, you're in a particular situation and you need
this is not a situation, it's about debt.
Yeah,
it's about debt. This is not like any type of random situation. This is about debt. Somebody coming to borrow money. So you have to look for the witnesses. It's not like you just, if you don't find a witness, don't give the money. That's how it is.
Yeah, I know. But I understand what you mean, but I'm trying to understand the wisdom behind the necessity of having a man present and not two women, for example. That's what I'm trying to understand. Like, if you put only two women, what's the worst that can happen?
If you what?
If you put only two women as witnesses, what's the worst that might happen?
What is the worst that can happen?
Yes.
Putting two women as witnesses?
Yes, and no man.
God never said that. God never said anything about that.
I know, but
I don't want to think beyond what God didn't say. I'll be blaspheming about God. Some assumption can cause you to sin. So I don't need to think about what God. The best option is what God gave. So if God didn't say the other thing, I don't need to say anything. That what do you expect from me? Do you expect from God or from me?
No, nothing. I just want to understand the wisdom behind it, because I understand like there is something there, and there is wisdom behind the verse.
Yeah, God is not hiding anything. God
Of
is not
course,
hiding.
but I'm trying to like understand if it would it be like haram, for example, to put two women only.
So
as
it
witnesses
means you don't want
without
to.
a man?
It means you don't want to use the rules of God.
No. It's not that.
So why not
we
go with
we
God
always need to
say?
question things, right?
No, with the point is, why not go with what God just gave you?
You know, I'm going with it, but you still need to question everything, right?
Yes, but the question is simple. Look. Let's use the analogy. Look, Adam was told not to go next to the tree, right?
Yes.
Okay, we can ask the question why.
Yeah.
But he's the boss. He's giving you a command.
I know.
And he says, don't go. It's simple, don't go. That's all.
Yeah. But still, we need to. There is wisdom behind every verse in the Quran.
There is
so we
wisdom.
need
That's
to
the wisdom.
try
We
to figure it out.
just spoke about that. But you are now saying, why can't it be two women? So it means if we use two women, what is the position of men? The man has to take lead first.
Yeah.
That's why he created a man first before a woman.
If you say it like that, I get your point.
That's the point. That's the point.
I get your point if you say it like that.
That's why when a man is there, we say the man of the house, because a man has to be the lead.
Man needs to be like the captain.
Yes, he has to be the lead. That's the point.
Yeah. Also, it's maybe easier for a man like emotionally to like have that kind of responsibility to be a witness and
exactly, man can take that responsibility easily.
It's easier for a man to have that responsibility.
Yeah. So that's why God chose. The easier option is always what God gives. Yeah.
I know, but I'm like trying to.
Thank you, brother Hedi. I
always try to question, and I have another question as well, if you don't mind.
Okay, your last question, yes.
Yes. According to your understanding, what's the difference between zina and fahisha? According to the Quran.
Quran chapter 17, verse 32. Zina is also fahisha. It falls under fahisha. Fahisha is the umbrella, while zina comes under it. So Quran chapter 17, verse 32. Here. It says, and do not approach zina. Indeed, it is an obscenity and an evil way. So you see, the zina is defined as obscenity. It's a fahisha. So fahisha is the main umbrella, and then zina comes under it. So it is not only zina which is fahisha. We have a lot of fahisha things a person can do. So
how do I distinguish between these terms?
The term I just explained to you, that fahisha is the umbrella, that the zina comes under it.
Yeah, but what is it exactly?
The fahisha is obscenity.
Okay, and zina is what?
Fornication.
Fornication, you mean like sex outside of marriage, yes?
No, that is adultery. But we use the same word zina for it. Even if you have sex out of marriage, it's adultery. If you have sex with somebody who's not married, it's fornication. But that comes under.
I'm not talking about what's it called? I'm not talking about adultery. I'm not talking about cheating. I'm talking about if you have sex without being married.
Yeah, it comes under zina. It comes under zina, but it depends your agreement with the woman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. But that's like that falls under the fahisha. Fahisha can be anything, right?
Immorality, yes. It can be yes.
Sexual immorality.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I wanted to know.
Thank you, brother.
Okay, thank you for your time. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Peace.
May God bless you.
You too. Peace.
Thank you. Peace. Bye.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Hello. Salam alaikum. Your name is that brother Hamza Malik?
This is brother Hamza Malik.
Yes. Nice to meet you, brother.
Well, you've met me before. It's nice to talk, I guess, right now.
Yes, I saw you calling several times. You saw me doing a program. If you're watching me live, there are a lot of people on the queue, and I have to go by the queue. So I saw you.
No problem. I have no problem with that.
Thank you. I saw you calling.
I was just wondering if you were going to get me at all. And the reason why I'm calling is because I want to clear something up, because I'm doing a Zoom session myself on Sunday, and I just want to get from you some clarification on something, and I want your audience as well as the audience that listen to my lectures and anyone who listen to any of the lectures that you and I do to have an understanding about what this is that I'm asking you now and why I'm asking you. This is why I'm calling you live. So now what I'm asking you is, I remember you said that anybody who comes after you, that you check them like they're checking you and even closer. So I understand that. But did you look at a video that I made a little while ago? I think it might have been my last one on one before. It says, "Are you following closely?" Did you watch that video at all?
I didn't.
Okay, so now in that video, at 25.12 minutes into the video, up until about 31:29 is about 6 minutes. I gave you what I consider to be an olive branch. I extended an olive branch. And I said that I was never again attack you personally. I made that a pledge. I talked to the brothers and sisters around me, and they said, "Brother, no." The brother, because you hadn't spoke about me in the last couple of videos, you didn't mention my name. So I said, well, maybe Shuaib has decided he's not going to keep this name calling thing up. And for me to keep doing it would seem like I'm being aggressive or over-aggressive or being just arrogant and mean. So I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to attack Shuaib again personally. And also why I did it is because the last time when that brother called you and used all that serious, harsh, profane language against you, that's gutter language, it upset me, and I didn't like that at all. You know, the one where he called you all kind of names.
Yeah.
And then you took that standing, you didn't have any problem with it. And so therefore I said, well, okay, when Muhammad Hijab came and called you all kind of names, I said, well, it seems like now Muhammad Hijab is getting at me, Hamza Malik, also. And I said, well, if he's getting at me directly as a Quran alone follower and calling me a kufr, why would I not go after him the same way I came after you when we thought, you and I, we thought we were misunderstanding each other and that you were shooting and got me by mistake. And so we had this feud. I said, well, let me now just focus on going after him, even though I think that we had beat them down already with the Sunnah. I said, we'll just beat them some more. So my point here is that I extended to you in that video an olive branch. And I said, I'm not going to bother you anymore. I'm not going to call you by names. I'm going to take back that pledge that I asked you to do, to swear with your children and your families and all of that. I'm going to retract that. I'm just going to deal with arguments. You and I, as an adult, two adults, reasoning, investigative, critical thinkers, dealing with argument and facts. So I said, that's what I'm going to do. Now I said, now when I put that there, and then the other day you talked about Kareem and you said the other old man. I said, well, wow, why is he saying the other old man? He's dealing with Kareem. Why is he putting me in it again? So I said, well, I wonder if he saw that and he just disregarded that and didn't care, or he didn't see it. So I said, well, let me just make sure before I do something different. I said, I hope I wasn't jumping the gun by doing that. I said, let me call him tonight when he's on air and ask him, did he see my segment there? And now you're saying that you didn't see it. So I would suggest maybe you might want to look at that. It's, are you following closely that video? It's 25.12 minutes into the video where I begin to speak. And it's about 6 minutes long. And it ends at 31:29 where I tried to say, well, let me make peace with my brother. And I even suggested that perhaps it might get to a point where you and I can dialogue together. We can get on the same platform. I'm not worried about coming to your platform. People say, well, make it your platform or some other. I said, look, I'm not worried about Shuaib disrespecting me. I think he has more respect for me, even though we differ, and I have respect for him, even though we differ, that we can be sensible in having a conversation. So I don't care what platform it is. And so this is what I did. And I said, well, I can't believe that he saw that. And then he continued on like that. I just wanted to make sure before I open up my session on Sunday, and I wanted to know how to go about that. So you're saying that you didn't see it?
Actually, I didn't see it. The problem is because I wasn't tagged. Nobody tagged me. And usually when people make video on me, people will share it. But when people see it, they share it to me. Nobody shared the video to me. Nobody tagged me, because the reason is when you and I went a little back and forth, I was seeing it as being the one-way scenario. I was like, no, let me end this. Like I said, I did not start it. I will end it because I didn't see the need of me going back and forth with you for a long time. I don't see the need. What's the need for it? But the issue was so that I can actually end it by having a dialogue, so people can know where we stand. What is this about? Instead of going back and forth, I would rather go back and forth with Mohammed Hijab or Jake Brancatella or so. But we going back and forth, I don't see the need. So when Ayub Karim jumped in, and I was like, and somebody showed me a screenshot of you sharing what Ayub Karim did. And I was like, this is like a tag team. So to be honest, I never watched your video. Any latest video you did, I never watched, because I wanted to bury that argument and put it on the side. The point was I wanted to end that argument in a dialogue, because the best way to end this feud is to have a dialogue where people can see the perspectives we are using to argue. Instead of staying far away and throwing shots, I don't see any meaning in that. You get my point? So, of course, I do have respect for you. I've said it several times, but when I see it going to the channel that we are making each other dirty, I said, no, I cannot keep up with this. I just need to put it on the side.
Okay, now you do remember that I might be one of the first of the so-called Quran alone followers who advocated that everyone should follow, every person who claims to be a Quran alone follower, follow their channel, subscribe to their channel, listen to them. We might not agree, but we're coming from the same source. So therefore, subscribe and follow. I advocated that. And as you said, you put up something tonight. You said a couple of years ago how I spoke well of you and one thing after the other, and I still do that. The point is that once that feud got going on between you and I, it got kind of personal and it got out of hand. And so we went off into that zone. And I thought perhaps now it would be time to stop that. But now I said, well, okay, if I have a dialogue with you, because my biggest problem with you right now is this Jesus had no father thing. That's the greatest, in my book, the greatest crime in the Quran forever. That's the one that Allah says is so bad that if that's right, whoever's right and whoever's wrong should call a curse on the liar. And I believe that you are misunderstood on that. And this is why I asked you to take this curse. I tried to be mild about it. I said, well, I'm not going to ask the brother to put his children in it and all of that. I'll put my family. And then after a while, I said, no, Allah said, deal with it the way he said it. So I said, okay, call your family, children, and all that. And then after a while, I said, no, I'm not going to do that at all. I want to pull back from that. And so now my point is that for me to have a dialogue with you on the matter or a debate, which I prefer debating, but I would dialogue, and I don't mind coming to your channel and doing it, whatever. But I would ask now, would you make a video at some point proving that Jesus did not have a father? Make a video, not just responding to something I've said or someone else has said. You yourself make a video establishing the fact of the matter from the Quran that Jesus did not have a father. That way now I have something to bite into when we sit to have a dialogue or a debate. I know how to now, we have enough time to present our argument, to cross-examine, closing statement, the whole thing professionally the way we do. Right now, I don't see that you have anything to stand on. And Sunday, a point that you was trying to stand on, I'm getting ready to take that away also Sunday. So my point is, but I wanted to stop calling names. This is the thing. I didn't want to keep calling names.
But instead of me trying to say I'm going to the drawing board to make a program, the best way is to have a dialogue. We can just have a discussion on that. Then we go on the dialogue. You present your arguments, I present my argument, we cross-examine each other. People can see the evidence laid down. I think that's the best evidence we can lay down to the people, instead of saying I should make a program on Jesus not having a father, a whole program. I think I've spoken on it enough in several videos for people. And as you know me, I don't just stick on one topic when I do programs. I like to jump on different topics, because I make a bigger video so that I can have some chunks of video to trim out and share it on my platform. So if I just stick to one program and say I'm going to talk about Jesus not having a father, unless if my audience need that kind of program, I will do it. But the issue here we are trying to eradicate out of the equation is to speak about whether Jesus has a father or not. So I think that's a topic people would love to see a dialogue on that, or a discussion. Of course, it's a respectful one. It doesn't have to be on the necks of each other. We can have a respectful dialogue to prove the evidences whether or not he has a father or not. That's simple.
Yeah, but you see what happens is that I have a video called the misconception of the conception of Jesus, where I go through the whole situation from the Quran. So you have something to look at from my video to say, oh, this point is wrong, this is where I disagree, this is where you made a mistake, etc. I said, with you, I have no point of reference for anything. I don't have anything that you're standing on other than a denial that Jesus was born with the parents, with the male and female. A denial. I have nothing to bite into. So when we're having a dialogue, I can't dismantle anything that you're saying. We just have to deal with it on the spot. And that's not the way I'm accustomed to doing debates or dialogue, if we want to do that. So now, not to carry this on, I don't want to carry this on. Let me just ask you one more question, and then you can consider that. We can get back in touch. I said, well, perhaps you and I would be even able to talk and speak together and maybe come to some common ground where that you and I begin to work together, and we can talk and we can, like we used to back in the day, and explain some of these things off the records, you and I, and we can go through them and you can get my point of view and whatever. But now let me just ask you this statement before I step away. Is it that you support the Hajj, so-called pilgrimage to Mecca? Do you support that idea?
Not the same concept they are doing 100%, no.
Well, not necessarily 100%, something called Hajj or pilgrimage. You support that?
Yes, I support pilgrimage, yes.
Now, let me ask you a question. Is there any reason why there's no reference to your understanding of Moses and Jesus having performed that pilgrimage? Do you have any reference to that?
As far as I'm concerned, God says we should follow the creed of Abraham. There's a reference of Ibrahim calling for Hajj, but I don't need the reference of Jesus or Moses for that, because he says we should follow the creed of Abraham. That is enough for me.
But wouldn't they have to have done it themselves?
That is not a cause for concern for me still. I focus on Ibrahim. Ibrahim is the main objective here.
Okay, so you're not really concerned about whether Moses or Jesus did it or not.
Exactly.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, I'm going to address that Sunday as well. Okay, my brother, that was it. This is what I think now is maybe you and I can we made contact. Maybe we can make contact off the records, and we can set up something. We can talk about something, and we can put a program together for our listeners that will be suitable so that we can share, because I think this idea of Jesus having a father is the greatest calamity ever to hit mankind, so much so that that's the only thing that Allah asked a curse because of it. to curse somebody because they say that Jesus had no father. And when I said that, the brother Sam Simone over there from that wacko crowd, he said, well, somebody had to put the Y chromosome there. Whoever put that Y chromosome there has to own up to being the father, whether it's miraculously or however it was done. And so therefore, chapter 19 talks about, because of that, that there's elements of the earth, the heavens and the earth and everything is ready to fall down because they attribute the son to Allah. So that's very serious business there, and we have to make sure we get that straight. I think it's the worst thing that could be said. That has to be foremost on our plate. So let's try to see if we can just get together and discuss that matter.
Sure. I'm open for that. Actually, yes. I had one plan in my head, but I never thought it would come this way. But the other plan was actually me stepping foot in USA and meeting you directly. But
that would be fine. That would be beautiful.
Yeah, this happened this way, but still, of course, we can talk about it in a different.
You and I can talk. We can talk about it, and we can come up with something. I think we have to be civil. You and I are probably going to differ on many things, but as long as we come out of the Quran and do the best we can, and we're sincere, I believe Allah will reward both of us.
Yeah, inshallah.
He's going to reward us according to the strength of our understanding and the source that he told us to follow, and don't follow anything else. His paradise and his mercy is big enough for everyone.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so if what you said, I've heard what you said, and like I said, of course the respect is there. It's just that things got out of hand. And I think there's a misunderstanding as well. Like I said, I've said it in my videos that there was a misunderstanding. As usual, when you throw shots at somebody and the person is related to another person, sometimes the person might misunderstand what you're doing, thinking that you are rather throwing shots at them also. My shot was never intended at you in the first place. But I was surprised out of the blue moon. I just saw some people sending me videos. They say, hey, brother Hamza Malik did a video on you. I was like, what? That caught me off guard. So the point is, for me, Baba Shraib is always open for discussion, always open for dialogue, always open for debates. I've never been running away from anybody. But the point we were heading to, I didn't see maturity in the point of back and forth and throwing words at each other. That is why I cut it off. So when this guy took it up again against me, Ayub Karim, I was surprised. I was like, what is going on? What are we doing? Why can't people just call Baba Shraib and sit him down and have a discussion? Because what is this? The best point is just what you just said. We just arrange a time, have a discussion. People can watch and see the perspective. I think that's the best option. Okay, so we'll contact each other and we'll work out the logistics of it. Inshallah, we could do it, and we'll make it happen. Yeah, inshallah, God willing. So thank you for your time. I appreciate your presence. Thank you, my brother, for taking my calls and being patient with me. Yes, to hear this out. But do go and look at that video. Yeah, I will check it out. And are you following closely? Beginning, you don't have to watch the whole video. Just 25.12 minutes in. And it ends at 31.29 minutes. And then that'll let you see that Hamza Malik was sincere about trying to reach out to you and end this feud, and just to stick to the facts. Inshallah. I'll check it out and I'll get back to you, inshallah. MashaAllah. Thank you for your time. Yes, peace. Wa alaikum salam. Peace. Yes. So unfortunately, I'm getting to 4 hours. I don't want my video on YouTube to get to 4 hours. Unfortunately, I cannot pick any more calls. I'm sorry. Aliyu, if you want to talk to me, please come on TikTok. I don't want my video on YouTube to go very big. I don't want that. 3.5 hours. I might trim the greetings part to leave it for 3 hours. I think it's okay. I don't want the video to go. I think speaking with Brother Hamza Malik at the end is the seal of the discussion. So I don't want. Shurulini says 4 is a nice number. It is not about being nice. My favorite number is 7. So should I go to 7 hours? 4 is a nice number, and so is 3. Please, 3.5 is okay. You understand? So people are saying they like the patience I exhibited. Yes, brother Hamza Malik, of course, we had respect for each other. It was just some, devil would step in between, and God spoke about having patience for with each other. I think that is needed, because if I can quote the verse, it's chapter 17, verse 53. Let me put the verse on the screen. Check this. God says, and tell my servants to say what is best. Indeed, the devil will incite evil among them. Indeed, the devil is a clear enemy to the human being. You understand? Sometimes we can get carried away, throw shots at each other, and do all the sort of things. But if we can say the best to each other, yes, there can be mutual understanding and cooperation. We don't need to agree with everything a person says. Yes, it's not a must, but it doesn't mean disagreement, so we have to hate each other. So my stance, as it is, Baba Shribe, I'll always prove my stance, but the direction of going to that, muddy water, for me, it's not a point I think I want to go with people who claim to follow the Quran. But if the cause for settlement is there, of course, we can do it in a respectful way, have discussions, have dialogue, so people can understand different perspectives. I think that is what we need to do. So this is what brings to the show to the end today. And thanks to Brother Hamza Malik for also calling. And as you see, we had a respectful exchange. Like I said, Baba Shribe has always been respectful in his discussions, dialogues, unless if some people with the heebie-jeebie start calling. That no, I don't need that. So thank you very much, Sister GS. MFG, I've seen your message. Brother Imran Khan, thank you very much. I appreciate your support. God bless you. Actually, one of the old ladies, I normally organize feeding program. I organize it during this Ramadan. We fed so far, yes, about 180 old people, right? And the point is, out of the old people we helped, and also, yes, out of the old people we helped, one of the old ladies' house got burnt down. It's burnt down. And thanks to this brother Imran actually extended hands for help. But some of the donations that we actually had left was able to help oversee that she gets some of her things, in place. But I'll be putting the update on the GoFundMe. You'll see what actually transpired. But thanks to you for all those who donated during the Ramadan, and it was helpful, it was fruitful. People actually enjoyed. And like I said, this is the cause of unity we have to build. And actually, I had a plan. When I was telling Brother Hamza Malik that I was actually planning in my head to meet him face to face, yes, it was one of my plans to step foot in USA and go to him directly so that we can sit down and have a discussion instead of back and forth on the internet. So that's why I stopped doing the videos against him. Thank you very much. I appreciate your presence. I appreciate your support. All those who are here, as Faraj, all of you, Sister Jehan, Baba Seidu, yes, Baba Seidu, Nagan salam to you. Yes, for all those callers who called on the program. Yes, somebody is saying, what is wrong with the video being long? I just made a promise. I don't like my video being long. That's just my point. When it's very long, it's boring to watch. Yes, when it's very long, it's boring. So I wanted to stay in a frame of time so that people can actually use it. Unless if I'm doing a throughout lecture without non-stop lecture without any calls or something, then yes, I can do it for a long time. I think the longest time I've stayed online was 8 hours. Yes, I stayed 8 hours online talking about Quran and Islam. Yes, that's the longest time. RM Monster, please, this question, can you bring it on TikTok, please? I don't want my video to be long. I would have loved to answer you, but I can't answer here. Please come on TikTok. I'm going to be on TikTok for like 1.5 hours. If you need the question to be answered, come there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where the program comes to an end. Till we meet again next week. Thank you for your time. I might be having a program with a sister tomorrow. I don't know if it is coming on tomorrow, but if it's not, we might reschedule. Sister Edina, I think Edina from, is it Albania or so? Yeah. So I'll be having a program with a sister tomorrow, God willing, inshallah. So as we spoke about Brother Hamza Malik, I'll be checking out his video also. Then I'll give you the heads up or on what I've seen or what we need to talk about. Thank you very much. Maroon Khalif, thank you very much, all of you. Nara Power, thank you. Semma Elom. Semma Elom, please get your TikTok and join me, please. SSAA says, Brother Baba should have more question and answer session. Yes, I do it on TikTok if you are willing to come. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. Till we meet again. Sister Eram says, please do another program with Omar Zahid. I actually exchanged messages with him just yesterday, right? I will try to get in touch with him. I was looking forward to bring Brother Omar Zahid on my platform, right? I've been on his platform about 3-4 times. I'm looking forward to bring him on my platform, inshallah. So thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. Balogun, Olaika, Abdul Samad, No Name, Sister Eram, Sister Jan, Zuleika Hussein, I didn't see you. Are you somewhere here? Brother Jab, the caller, Daryl Jabbar, peace to you. Abubakar Muhammad Tijani, Nara Power, all of you. Bilal Jibril, One Love. Thank you, guys. I appreciate the support. Muhammad Gaddafi, Traore, all of you. If I didn't mention your name, I apologize. I wish I could mention all of you, but this is where the program has to come to an end. Peace out. Always give them a reason to remember your name. The correctional officer.